Hello, hi, it's nice to see you again. Can you hear me? I don't know. Can you? I don't know. But hi, hello. So I was thinking, why don't we? So I've been on Twitter recently. Okay, yeah, I know that's the cause of all of my problems, honestly. But what is up with like the disproportionate like reaction to whatever the fuck happened with Cinder? I saw that shit and I was like, what the fuck? And I didn't touch it with like with my arm for like a good while, and then like it just would not disappear. So I was just like, you know what? And then the memes got so funny. But like honestly, the funniest thing that's gonna happen, that's gonna come out of X all of April, is probably gonna be the one gorilla versus 100 man meme. I don't even know. But then I was seeing Shy Lily posting shit about it, and I was like, damn. And at first I thought, oh well, she just, you know, all that I knew was that like, oh, she backstabbed her friends or whatever. Like that sucks, yeah. But like, I mean, the Twitter crash out was kind of a little much. I mean, it just seems like they're kind of like making an example out of her. And then I was seeing stuff from Shy Lily, and I'm like, what are you talking about? Like extortion, huh? Like she fucked up with people's business. And then, hi, what's up? So basically, fucking Twitter again. Apparently some bitch named Cinder did some crazy shit. I don't know. Apparently, I originally thought she was just, you know, like being drama with her friends or whatever, and then it was like a crash out moment. And then, but apparently it has something to do with like extortion and shit. And I'm like, what the fuck? What are y'all talking about? Like honestly, this is like, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And then my goat Muujin posted about it, and I was like, okay, we're gonna watch it, because I usually only stream like Saturdays, but like, you know, I'm feeling kind of like what is going on? Like I'm honestly confused. And then I was like, yeah, I'll just stream it, because why not? Because regardless of this, my house just had like we were in the middle of like a fucking weather warning, like extreme weather. Apparently there was a tornado, or like a really small one. A tree went through my friend's window. Fucking like a 20-foot tree fell down and got like turned into like sticks. Like, oh my god, bro, like what the fuck? I don't live in like some place that has like extreme weather all the time. Like what the fuck just happened? Like, dude, I'm like, my friend was like crying and like calling the group chat, and be like in their basement. I'm like, what the, apparently their roof got fucked up. I'm like, what the hell, child, what the hell? Like where the fuck, like I don't live in like Florida or anything. This, like, what the fuck just happened, bro? Global warming is coming for us all, I guess. Bro, what the fuck? I don't got a basement, so tornadoes comes in, I'm done for the day. I have a basement. I'm actually in my basement right now, obviously, because I'm freezing my ass off. But I was literally just sitting on my couch through the whole thing, so I'm like, I genuinely am not that scared of a tornado. Like, bro, come for me. I didn't even realize that it was supposed to be a tornado warning until like fucking like 2 minutes after everything had already happened, because my friend was texting me crying about everything. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? I'm literally an idiot. I was sitting right on my couch right next to a window the fucking entire time. Oh my god. What the fuck, dude? I can't anymore. But yeah, all right, so this bullshit is what we're watching, sadly. I don't even know anymore. Okay, Talk to me, Muujin.
But after 4 months, 2025 has officially had its first apocalyptic level VTuber drama that has caused an industry-wide disaster. This is about one of the biggest independent VTubers on the planet, and how for years, while pretending to be her friend, tried to take away opportunities and suppress the success of an even bigger independent VTuber by the name of Bao. This
I have not
all
watched
started
either of these
when a very
people
well-renowned artist within the VTuber community published
hold on
this
a second.
document
Didn't Bao
titled
get, like,
Terminating
canceled
My
or something
Work
a while
with
ago?
Cinder. This document
I
is such
swear.
a bombshell
she, like,
filled to the brim with proof that it's currently sitting at almost 3 million views, and it hasn't even been up for 24
she, like, do something with artists
hours.
before?
That
like,
artist wasn't the only one.
Persuaded
There
them to
are
only work
multiple
for her or
documents
something?
with a lot of proof published by multiple people,
Overpowering you.
including
Fucking
Bao, who
Chrysler,
usually
bro.
stays away from drama.
Okay.
And as time
How's
goes
that? Is
on,
that good?
more and more people are coming out
My
with
voice
their
just
side
cracked.
of the story. You have to understand,
Is that
this
good?
doesn't just involve Bao, this involves multiple very successful VTubers being backstabbed by that person. And that is barely scraping the surface here. Not to mention that her apology was one of the
All
worst
right,
I've seen in recent memory. To
How's
say
that? Is
that
that
this
good?
is apocalyptic is an understatement. The entire VTuber community is shook to its
All right,
core.
okay.
So what the hell
What do
is
you mean
going
shook
on?
to its core,
Well,
bro?
You already know the drill.
It's literally
Let's
like the only thing that
talk about it.
I'm experiencing
So
is
as I
it filling up
mentioned,
my
the
fucking
VTuber at the
timeline, bro.
center of this
Get off my
controversy
Twitter.
is Cinder, but she didn't always go by that name. She actually started off in 2020 as a YouTuber by the name of Tashi.mp3, making a variety of different ASMR RP videos, like "You're Such a Good Boy for Me" ASMR RP.
The fuck? The
A year
fuck?
later, on June 2021, she would
No,
create
she should
her
have been
Twitch
canceled
channel
for being
under the
cringe. What
name
the fuck
of
is this shit,
Cinder
bro?
and would
What?
start streaming. During that time, she would build herself a small community of people. But the real turning point for her was a year later, on June 2022, when she would officially do her model debut. The whole thing was a resounding success, and people fell in love with her model almost instantly. At the time,
Well, yeah,
very
it's a
few
good
models
model. It
looked
looks
like it,
cute.
and it was seen as innovative, unique even. Not to mention that it had two very big reasons to keep your attention, I guess.
I'm about to start
During
tweeting.
her
The fuck?
debut, she would spend close to an hour
Oh,
showing
thank
off
God they
her
didn't
model
play it.
and the
I have
different features
hatred
that it
towards
came
ASMR.
with. After her
Honestly,
debut, she would get a
yeah,
lot
I
of
can feel that.
traction.
I don't
People
like
really
like
liked her
the
model
role playing
and her
like cringy
personality.
ASMRs,
Nanolith
but I
was
do.
also
I have
able to gain
insomnia,
some
so I
distraction
end up
because she
having to
was
listen to
behind
like this
the
one
design
bitch
of her
on
model.
YouTube
This allowed her
just
to
so I can
start
fall
receiving
asleep, bro.
many
It's not
commissions from
good.
other VTubers who wanted a similar style, and as you can see from how many followers she had in 2023, she was also able to grow exponentially. Cinder would
Well, yeah.
understand that one of the things people loved about her was the design behind her model, so she stuck with Nano and would keep commissioning a new model or outfit every few months. Now look, when it comes to VTuber models and VTuber outfits,
Yeah, those shits
this
ain't
costs
cheap,
a
bro.
lot of money. We're talking thousands of dollars. The fact that she was able to do this every few months already showed the resounding success that she found in content creation. Her average view count on Twitch was unstoppable, reaching thousands of concurrent viewers today, ranking her
So
as
why-
the
so how the fuck did she
471st
fuck all
most
this up?
watched content creator on the entirety of Twitch. Part of the reason of that growth was that she was able to be a part of the VTuber friend group that included the biggest indie VTubers on the planet. She was seen as a dear friend, and as far as the others knew, that's how she saw them too. Always collabing together and always being a part of their tier list
I
or
watched
whatever
Cinder
other
like
challenges
once.
they do.
I've
But that's
never
not
seen this
all.
bitch
Her
before in my
success knew
entire
no
life.
bounds. At the
Like,
beginning of 2025,
on
she
God,
announced
I
that
have
she was
not
a
seen her before.
partial
I've
owner
like
of the
seen
company
Bao in
Gamer
passing
Subs.
before.
This is
I-
a huge energy
I
drink
watch
company that
Shy Lily
sponsors
like
many
very
of the
rarely
top
because I don't have
VTubers
time
in
for
the
it.
world. She
But
even
like
released
out
her
of
own shaker
out of
with
the
them,
people
and
that
the
were just
art
on the
on
screen, she's like
shaker,
the
of
only one
course,
that I
was also made
recognize.
by Nanolith, and it sold out completely. All this to tell you that she was extremely successful. Guys, she was never in any controversy. As far as anyone was concerned, she had a very warm and kind personality as well as a really cool design. So of course, no one could have ever expected that it would just take one document to make her entire successful career come crashing
Yeah, the
down
document, it
in
just
an
seemed like
instant.
I feel
But
like
that's
this was also like a
exactly
crash
what
out.
happened. On April 26th,
I don't got none of that.
2025, Nanolith,
None
who
of
at this
what?
point had become
Oh,
completely
a sweet
associated
personality.
with
That's
Cinder's
crazy, bro.
brand, had published this tweet saying, "Hello, I'm here to share something that has affected me personally and hurt others. This was very hard for me,
Well,
but
like
I feel like
obviously,
it's
like what she
necessary.
did
Please do
was
not
not
send hate
good,
to anyone
but
on
like
my behalf.
from what
This is
I
all I
know,
want to
obviously
say."
I could be proven
Linking
wrong.
a Google Doc
It
with
just
the
seemed like
title,
it was an
"Terminating my
a little
work
bit of an
with
overreaction. I'm not
Cinder."
gonna lie.
And in
Like
the
like everybody
replies,
was
one
like
could
just
see
like,
the
oh my
biggest
god, oh my god.
independent
I'm like,
VTubers
well, yeah,
on the
she's just
planet
being like
fully
toxic as
and
fuck, but like,
unconditionally
yeah.
supporting Nanolith with this document. So let's take a look. Nano starts off with introduction and notes, saying, "I wanted to share my experience with Cinder and Red manipulating me, using me, and dragging me into drama while sabotaging, slandering, and spreading lies about people I thought
obviously
were her
I
closest
also didn't
friends."
read the
So
document
before we
because I
continue,
just
you
don't
know
have
who
the time for
Cinder
that
is,
shit.
But who the hell is Red? Well,
Which is
Red,
why I waited
otherwise
for this
known
video
as
to come out.
Redacted, has been Cinder's manager since she started content creation. This has been a well-known fact. If you knew her or worked with her or whatever, you typically did it through Red. He was somehow involved all the time. So this document
Red,
wasn't just
no.
talking about Cinder,
Who
it
is
was also
this?
talking about him. Nano continues.
All I know
"Not
is that
only
he's
do
her
I no longer
boyfriend,
wish to
so
work with
he's
Cinder,
also
but
her
I want
manager.
to share what I've endured over the years and shed light
My
on what
name
she
is
has been
covered
doing
in
behind
blood.
people's backs to protect artists
You
and
might
friends that
you
may
might
be
want to
experiencing
rebrand my
something
boy.
similar. I struggled a
You
lot
can,
with writing
it's
this
fine. You
document
can
and wasn't sure if what
as
I felt
he
and
like the
experienced
old red
working was
fades
real
fades
or
away.
just
You
burnout,
can
but I
take
think
his
this
place or
proves that
something.
was
I don't know.
lied to and manipulated over the course of years while working with Cinder. Note, Based on working with Redacted and Sinder over the years, that I am sure they speak for each other, and there is no reason to believe Red was acting without Cinder's consent and knowledge. Whenever I use they or them, it refers to both of them acting as a team. English not being my first language and the language barrier, I discussed the situation, my feelings and thoughts with native English speakers who helped me put them into words so everything is clear without any misunderstandings due to lack of English skills. Note,
My
any
only
names
question
that are
is,
censored here were
they
censored
keep
because the
like
creator in question did not
okay,
provide
hold
consent
on.
to have their name
My
revealed
one
by the
like
time of
question
me
is, I'm
posting.
gonna pause this for a second. My one question is that like they say, so they keep like referring to her as like dear friend and stuff, but did they talk to her before this? Because I haven't seen anything about them like talking to her before this, and it seems weird that their first reaction to like a dear friend being an asshole is to post about it online. I'm sorry. Who? Like I've seen the three people that I know like have something to do with this is Bao, Shy Lily, and then the artist. That's all that I know. And I know that people like from the only one that I actually read was Shy Lily's because I thought that she was funny and I posted a meme about it. No, but they keep referring to her as like dear friend and like the memes and stuff, and it's everywhere on Twitter. Like I can't escape it. And they keep saying, "Oh, well, if Cinder betrayed her dear friends," I'm like, if they keep referring to themselves as dear friends, why was their first instinct to go like online? Obviously, I could be wrong, and I should probably just watch the video because they probably explained that. But like, I'm just confused about that. Like, I'm like, dude, what the fuck?
So this is already
Like,
a
if my
handful,
friend did
right?
that
It's
shit, my
alleged
first thought
many
wouldn't
things,
be, I'm gonna
but
post about this on
thankfully,
Twitter.
Nano
My
has
thought
a
would be
lot of
like,
proof in
bitch, you
DMs.
better
So she
explain
starts off with
yourself.
the section slandering other creators. I will start
Shy
with
Lily, that's
screenshots
crazy.
showing
I have
them
the
speaking
VTuber
ill of
award
other
card with her
creators
and spreading
rumors
I love Shy
while
Lily, bro.
manipulating me
Like,
that it's
she's
all
awesome.
in our
I'm making a
best
cosplay
interest.
for
In
her
addition to
for
spreading ill rumors,
what is
they
it?
also complain and accuse Bao of giving their editor too much work,
Tekka
resulting in
later
the
this
editor
year,
not having
so it's
any
like
time for the
it'll be
clients,
lit.
which
It's
will be
alright.
important later on. The screenshots below show them showing their affection and appreciation, immediately followed by spreading rumors and lies to make other clients appear problematic to manipulate any future decisions regarding commissions. So these are fairly recent DMs from January 2025. It starts off with Nano saying, "Of course, I wanted to understand it better, especially if I cancel her for the second time, lol." With Redacted saying, "Well, with blank, she's given a lot of bias and priority at GS, which is gamer subs. Sometimes over Cinder, and we can't really confront them about it, and plus, she's gone 3D lately. Bao has been getting on our nerves for a while. She hijacked our YouTube editor a while ago and is constantly picking up artists that we work with. We've gotten to know her better being friends with her, but she really rubs us the wrong way with the things she does. We wanted to try and safeguard our most important artist from her since she's already taken our editor. And I don't mean taken like he doesn't work with us anymore, he does, but he has to dedicate time for her now, and sometimes that gets in the way of our projects. Also, one of Bao's music video editors is the one that did the Boss Rush music video, and we're 99% sure she told him not to do any more with us. But like model art is the most important thing, that's a VTuber's entire image. Well, we love
nobody mentioned this before.
Cinder wouldn't be Cinder without Nano. Okay, but like, let me tell you the tea about the music video thing. Bao had original songs last year that had music videos by her editor, and the songs flopped. Her editor met us at TwitchCon and was saying that he'd love to work with us, practically jumping through hoops to get something planned. We managed to have him squeeze in the Boss Rush music video between his work with Bao. He says he loved working on it and is super excited to work on the next music video project. The Boss Rush song blows up, and he's credited as the editor. I ask him when he's free to do the next project. All of a sudden, he changes his mind and is only working with Bao going forward. No explanation. Nanolist replies with a
Jesus paragraph.
Emoji,
yeah,
I
have dyslexia. There was no way I was reading any of these things by myself. Mugen is the GOAT because I literally can't do this by myself.
Now for our next Boss Rush project. We think Bao got pissed that her editor did an original song music video for her friends without her knowing, and it did 100 times better than her original songs last year, that she locked him up so no one else could work with her. And then had him make
is that
it
actually
public on
true
Twitter
though?
that he was
Just
only
like
working with her going forward, like a literal announcement tweet. And now she's been barking up the tree of one of our live 2D animators, so like in you and a Nano model. Nano replies with, "Yeah, looking for me sounds sus for sure." Redacted says it's so annoying.
Pause the video.
I don't know, man. She has a way of guilt tripping people to get her
pause the
way.
video,
So
read so much that you'll get so
January,
good. People wouldn't know.
No,
I can't, dude.
Document saying,
it's alright.
Red
It's alright.
asked me to cancel on one of their closest friends, Bao, by asking me to cancel my work mid-progress, manipulating me into thinking it is okay since she has many connections and she'll be fine anyway, so I wouldn't feel feel guilty about it or worry too much. It was and is upsetting to me that Red contacted me specifically to check on me canceling the model I had planned with Bao. So these DMs are from August 2024.
But is any of that true? You didn't.
Her saying, did you cancel
Mugen,
models?
you gotta
Nano
elaborate.
said, I did not. Red replies with Nano arc delayed to 2026. Nano replies with, I'm scared to cancel with Bao, to which Red says, you shouldn't be. She has so many connections. She'll find someone super fast. Did you already design her outfit? I remember her showing it to us at WeebCon, to which Nano says, yeah, I can give her the design for free as an apology gift. This is so scummy, man. You have to understand, commissioning a VTuber model is a very
also I
lengthy
watched the
process.
schedule one
Everything
stream.
from the initial concept to the design to the
So
rigging to the
that's what
testing.
you guys
If
were
you don't
talking
pay
about before
extra,
you
it
even
might
found
take
out
a
they
year.
couldn't
If you
hear
pay
you at the
double, it
table.
might take a few months, but it takes
Yeah.
a while
Oh my
anyway.
God.
And
I
finding
don't-
someone
I
who's
didn't
both
even realize
talented
that-
and has a free schedule is almost
She didn't know that I
impossible.
was
So this
also
idea
streaming
of,
until like the
oh,
very
she has
end.
so
I was
many
like, dude, what the
connections
fuck?
is very insensitive and scummy. Nano clearly is nervous and doesn't want
She
to
was a little
cancel,
mad.
but Red keeps
Just a little
pressuring
bit,
her
it's alright.
to do so. Such weirdo behavior. Nano
Yeah, it is a little
continues in the
bit weird,
document in the
but
next
also-
section, titled exclusivity and blacklisting
Thought you
other
didn't say
creators.
anything?
In the
Well,
messages
I don't
below,
know, it's
they
not exactly
mentioned
your
wanting
fault.
an exclusivity
Like-
contract, but they didn't want to pay for exclusivity.
For all you know, she
But
could be
rather,
talking
when
to
a
the
creator
voices
from
in her
their
head.
blacklist comes asking for a commission, they would guarantee me model work for Cinder only, and if anyone asked me for commissions, they'd commission me instead to compensate for not working with other creators. This felt very strange, given that one of the accusations they made was overworking their editor, yet their solution to me working with other creators was for them to essentially overwork me to keep me from working on other projects. The messages below show that their primary concern is that the more non-Cinder models I make, the less valuable my existing models become. It's hard to say how much this messed with my mind as an artist that by working
What?
with other people, I'm somehow making my
You're
existing
both being
models
a-
less
hold on.
special.
This
The
is what I'm
following
saying about
screenshot
the
is one of them
documents
setting
being
up
a
the
little weird,
blacklist, saying I'm
because
not allowed to
hold
work
on,
with any new clients
Cinder's definitely in the wrong there, because like what the fuck? What do you mean less valuable? You obviously don't like appreciate the art for what it is. Like the point of like that's like really dumb. Like the artist doesn't want to just work on one project character for the rest of their life. Like what the fuck? The value in the art is how good it looks, not you know how many of it there is, but also like hold on, give me a second. I need to reread this. What do you mean like they're overworking you by taking by commissioning you to do stuff that you would already be doing? That would mean that you're overworking yourself. I'm confused. That read aloud. They said this felt very strange given that one of the accusations they made was overworking their editor, yet their solution to me working with other creators was for them to essentially overwork me to keep me from working on other projects. But I'm confused because they would be commissioning you when you have somebody else commissioning you to make up for that commission, but you would have to be open to taking that commission first, which means that you would be choosing when you're working or not. That part, hold on, okay.
to create any new outfit.
Shit. That is, it's right here. It's right here. And I'm just like, I'm confused about that part. Because honestly, this whole situation, it just feels very like sus to me. Like it feels like friend drama. And I'm like, dude, why would you put this online? Dude, no. Dudes, no. Dudes, please don't do this. like keep shit between friends offline until like you have like I'm gonna shut up because again I could be completely wrong. And they could have like genuine like this could just be like the petty bits, because I did hear about like, oh, she was sabotaging people, so I want to know what that is. The shit with Bao, Cinder's definitely in the wrong. Like what the fuck, what are you talking about? what do you mean you're having her cancel her work, and you can't like, and she obviously doesn't understand the value of art is how it looks, not how much of something there is. But whatever. I'm just, the reason that I'm getting on their asses about this is because nobody's talking about what they did. I just keep seeing memes about Cinder, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, dude, this shit is so dumb. Like, what the fuck? What are we talking about here? Oh my god, this is so dumb.
outfits for VTuber 1 specifically, and justifying those things by saying that with each model, my art becomes less unique and special, and therefore Cinder somehow will become less special. The idea that my work as an artist and designer is devalued
Yeah,
by working
because
with other
that
people
shit is dumb.
insane and hurtful. After
That
realizing
that
what
shit,
taking a
Cinder
deal
was
with
kind
them
of just
would
being
really
dumb
mean for
because
both
like
my
what the fuck,
workload and my mental health, I backed out. So this first screenshot
bro.
is also from
I
January
literally
2025, very recent.
I go on
and it
Twitter
starts
during
off with
school,
redacted saying,
and this is
I mean, like, if we wanted
all
to have
that's
some
on there.
kind of model
Like
exclusivity,
I don't do
what would
much
you
in
need
school
to
because
make that sustainable for you?
believe it or
Nano
not, I'm
replies
smart.
with, maybe you can share one of your
So
ideas
all of my
and I
shit
can
is
check
already
what I
done.
think. Half an hour passes by. Redacted doesn't
No,
say
I
anything.
like all of my
Nano says
schoolwork is done. I
something,
have
and
A's in all of my
it's,
classes.
So
I'm
I
just
got
like
some ideas for this, I guess. Redacted
no
says
phone
I
in
was
school.
driving. What
They
are you
bitch, they
thinking?
don't care.
Nano says,
Like none of
okay.
my
So I
my
asked
teachers are
help
ever
from my
here.
friends. They don't know it's you, so don't worry. So a monthly fee,
That Ash is
calculating my
crazy.
monthly earnings.
Hey, don't spray
Also,
bottle
how
me.
long would this be? And if this counts for models I already worked on? Redacted replies with, well, I think the main things we're looking for are for you to not take any brand new model clients and to not make any new models outfits for blank again. So this
Yeah,
is
this
them
shit is dumb.
deliberately targeting
This
one
this shit
VTuber
is definitely
in
Cinder's bad. Like what the fuck are you talking
anyway,
about?
He continues, you'd still
Don't be a
able to
fucking
work
idiot
on
right now.
models/outfits with
Ooh,
all
you
of
about
your
to piss
other
me off.
existing babies, and your artwork commissions wouldn't be affected. One of our concerns is that more nano babies means nano models don't have the same value anymore. And by the way, guys, when he says
The
nano
fuck you
babies,
mean?
it's a VTuber
What the
term,
fuck
so
you mean?
typically
The
people
fuck
who
are you
make
talking
your
about,
model
bro?
are called papa or mama, and the VTuber commissioning them is their baby. Okay, yeah, I know it's weird if you're not into VTubers.
I'm already
okay?
pissed off
You don't
because
have
of
to
the
tell
Black
me,
Panther
but
and
now
Marvel.
you know. Anyway,
Bro,
it
he's
continues.
so for
And
real.
second is that there's
He's
a
so
few
for real
people
right
that we
now.
just would rather not be able to have a model from you. Maybe not any new babies at all. The
They should have
reason why I
given
brought this
Black
up at all
Panther
is
the
that
most
there's been a lot of
badass ending and had him be the one that killed Thanos. I'm still pissed off about that, bro. So pissed off because Chadwick died in real life, and that's like that makes me so sad because I'm like, damn, Black Panther was the GOAT, bro. Whatever.
with another one of our partners was certain creators.
But we're
And
getting
we'd
off
rather
topic.
These creators not have
Bad
what
red.
makes Cinder unique, which is your artwork, just drama. An hour later, Redacted comes up with an idea, saying, what about we can pay blank for you, and you don't have to discount it from the next payment, and we'll continue giving you lots of model work, I think around 4 this year right now, but you don't work with blank, blank, or blank at all again, models or art. I don't think you've ever done anything with
You
blank or
read.
blank
Stop.
before. We also have another gamer
Stop
subs label
derailing
for you
the
too,
conversation.
AFK. This is absolutely wild. Look at how many people they're
Also,
blacklisting
this
over here,
this one's
okay?
a bad red too.
Nanolis replies with,
This
is
guy.
there any way
This
to add
this
a
guy's
little bit
also
more since
this guy's also bad because what the fuck? What are you talking about, bro?
blank still asks for art every now and then? Redacted says,
Dude,
we could do it like
stop.
when blank
He's about to
asks
piss me
for
off,
art,
bro.
you tell her
Like,
no,
what do you mean?
and then tell us so that we buy another art piece. Like, so you still get a job from it. Now, I'm sure you're wondering who these
Yeah, that-
censored creators in the message
This is what I'm talking about with like they're not technically overworking you since you're the one telling them that you need work and they're paying you because you asked for it. But also, what the fuck? Bad red, bad. Like no. You don't understand what you're commissioning right now. Ash, do you need to cool off? Nah, I'm good. I'm actually like I'm laughing because this is just so stupid. This is so dumb. This is the dumbest thing that has come off of Twitter in like a good while. Like, what are you talking about here?
You don't work with bow, cotton, or blank at all again, models or art. I don't think you've ever done anything with bow or cotton before. These are, again, very big independent VTubers that call Cinder a friend. This is one of the most shameless things I've ever seen. Gatekeeping art from friends and also gaslighting a very talented artist.
I don't know any of
bear in
them.
mind,
I
there's a
don't
VTuber that's
I
still
don't
censored
know any
here,
of them.
and throughout the
I'm
document,
sorry.
you'll see a person of interest called VTuber
Bro,
1.
I know
Those got
Fillion,
revealed
Shy
later, and
Lily,
we'll talk about them in this
Kenji,
video, so don't
Kai,
worry. Nano then continues in
Doctor,
the document saying another example of speaking
I don't
ill
think-
of other creators right after they
I've watched
saw I was
Shoto
working
before.
with Shy Lily, trying to once again make the idea of working with other clients seem like I am
Pretty
setting
sure she's a
myself
voice
up with
actor. I
problematic
don't know.
people who will
Bro,
do
I
me
don't-
no good in the long run to
Cotton?
get me to reconsider working with
Maybe-
them. They also
maybe we'll look her up-
continuously kept
I'll look her
asking
up
about
later.
my other clients' plans, which for them made the antenna go up and immediately went into slandering Lily. And when Nano says Lily, she of course means Shy Lily. They consistently try
Nah,
to
bro,
reassure
how are
me
you gonna-
that despite their
how are you
best
gonna diss
efforts,
on
they just
Lily,
happen
bro?
to keep trying to bring drama in as reasons for me to go exclusive, and that working only with Cinder is them trying to look out for me. So this is extremely recent, like a couple weeks ago, right? In mid-April 2025, with
What?
Redacted saying, hey Nano, do you have more plans
Nah, that's
with Lily
crazy.
besides just the model, like outfits or merch or anything? Nano says, been just the model so far, to which Redacted says, okay, her asking you for a model recently just made the antenna go up. She's been acting weird towards Cinder lately, and we don't know know if something's going on. Nano says, oh, that's weird. Redacted says, ever since after V-Card launched, which is a VTuber trading card game that Shy Lily helped launch.
Ash, you better not join in some type of group.
Weird?
Type of this shit when you grow.
Dipping out of collabs they
yeah,
were both
nah, I'm good, bro. I'm good on that one, dude.
Messages. Cinder's rated her a couple times on Twitch in the past
I genuinely
week, and Lily won't acknowledge Cinder.
I think I'd rather die than join like a corporation.
Stuff. I don't know. Nano says that's
I
super weird since they both share the same store.
Yeah, you talked about that earlier.
To gamer subs that
no,
they
that's
both
cool.
have partial ownership in.
I saw around whenever I go to anime conventions, I always see gamer sub, and I'm like, maybe I should try this. But then I see like the very suspicious art on them, and I'm like, yeah, maybe not. Oh my god, speaking of Twitter, bro, I saw some motherfucker posting fucking candles based off this fucking drama. Oh my god, don't piss me off right now. These motherfuckers, dude. Yeah, oh my god, cause in apparently in Cinder's apology at the end or something, she says something about like what was it? I genuinely, hold on. So she was like, it's just business. Some motherfucker derailed. Let's go. No, they made a candle. They made a candle about fucking Cinder's apology, and it's fucking scented bonfire. Like, oh my fucking god, bro. Don't piss me off right now.
And I don't know what happened.
These
but
motherfuckers.
Her asking you for a model after that was just weird, even though she said she doesn't plan on getting a new model anytime soon. I don't know. Hate that we keep bringing you into drama, to which Nano says, yeah, I thought it was quite early to go for a new model. Redacted says, feels like we're gonna have to compete with Lily if she's ghosting Cinder and wants the same model mama. So of course, I don't have to tell you, Shy Lily is also one of the biggest independent VTubers on the planet, and she is someone that considered Cinder
the card was free for limited time during the VTubers Awards. Oh, that's cool.
Nano continues in the document.
Some of these VTubers are pretty cool, but I feel like just like the ones that are actually crazy. Hi, nice to see you. No, but I feel like a lot of people are just like crazy once
when I pushed back,
once they get bigger. I'm like, what the fuck?
Creators and implying that they initiated it by trying to work with me and that somehow justified their actions. They imply Shy Lily ignored Cinder when she spent over a minute thanking the raid, which you can see in this clip. Let's watch it together.
Ignore what you just saw. Okay.
Bro.
Ooh. Oh my goodness! Hello! Oh! Hello, Raiders!
Wait, what's going on?
I am playing
Confusion.
Berserker. It's called The Last Berserker Kazan. We were sponsored, but the game was really fun, so I just kept playing for like
okay, wait, what?
a million more hours.
She's ignoring who actually rated her.
Hello,
okay.
Hello, everyone! Hello.
Okay. Oh, okay. So she's ignoring. So she is ignoring Cinder, I guess.
What did you guys do?
I don't know.
I am low-key addicted. I usually so most people know me for my gacha addiction, but
Right, so I think that's enough proof to see that she acknowledged the raid and did her best to interact with her and her community when they raided her. So this idea that she ignored her completely is totally
To be
false.
fair, she
And I think
didn't
it
say
was just
anything
them
about
hoping
Cinder.
that Nano would be
Although,
too lazy to actually find the stream itself. And
you also have to take into where do you stand on this topic? Honestly, low-key, I'm kind of in the middle because, like, first of all, why the fuck are you guys airing this out online like dumbasses? Like, if you guys are such close friends, do this offline, and then if like she does something like unexcusable, then you go like, hey, you know, this is a little sus. Cinder's obviously in the wrong, but also they do like a lot of I'm noticing some of these dumb things. Ash, it's because everyone is so dumb. I know, but like, oh my god, please, they're pissing me off. Like, also, I get it. Like, Lily doesn't have to acknowledge another streamer if they're the one rating her, because I understand that there is some, like, I guess there's competition. I think that's also really dumb. Like, honestly, I don't give two fucks if another streamer wants to be like, oh, hey, I'm also a streamer while I'm streaming. Go for it. I don't care. Go ahead. Like if you like, get it, girl boss. Get it, girl boss. Like, I don't know, bro. Get the like, but I also understand that, like, you might not want to do that if I don't know. It's such a dumb reason, but like both sides are very dumb. Like, this is such a stupid situation. I can't. There's like, this is actually like so dumb. Like, on both sides, they're being fucking morons. Oh my god.
To the raid. Again, Very
Like, and I
scummy
love Lily
behavior.
too. So
On
like,
that
this
same
is
day,
just like,
Redacted and
what the
Nano
fuck is
kept
going on
DMing
right
each
now?
other, with Redacted saying, "Real, is it just Cinder and Blank you've been doing continuous model outfits for? We'll have the demon update list plus final arcade reference for you soon as it's finished." To which Nano says, "I think it is. I have an outfit for Blank planned too. As for Blank, got nothing for now, but she always comes up with something." Redacted asks, "Do you know who's rigging Shy Lily's model?" Nano List says, "Gonna be Blank." To which he replies with, "Thanks, Nano. Sorry for all the questions. Just gotta stay informed, especially when it comes to like top artists.
Dude.
Never a break." Nano says, "Don't
That's
worry,
not
just don't
your
stress too much
artist.
with the
That's
side
an
things.
that
It's
is
bad for
a
balding."
artist that you
Redacted
work
replies
with,
"I'm gonna
bro.
go
You
bald
don't.
now. I'll keep
Oh
you
my
in the
God.
loop about anything
This shit
else
is so
going on
dumb.
with that."
This is why
Nano
I
replies with,
don't
"The
interact with
balding?"
anybody.
And Redacted says, "No, you fool, just stupid drama. Gotta stay competitive even when we shouldn't have to. Also, your profile picture looks like a guy with a mustache." And Nano says, "Don't go too far on the competitiveness. It can get bad. Gotta chill sometimes." To which Redacted says,
But
"Hey,
also,
it's not us.
like,
We aren't the ones
also
getting a model
lies,
from
you
the artist
interacted
of the
with
other
Demon.
gamer subs owner
Demon
out
is
of
my
blue and
sister.
ghosting them and refusing
I
to
don't have a
acknowledge
choice.
them." You know, this is made weirder by the fact that
Bruh.
both Shy Lily and Cinder are
And
co-owners of a
Table is
company,
gonna
and
be
this
my
is how Cinder is
brother-in-law.
treating her. Her
So I
competitiveness
don't have a
knew
choice.
no bounds. She would probably
Dude.
push a toddler off a bridge if it meant getting 100 extra viewers on Twitch, okay?
Okay,
Nano
dude.
continues in
But
the document
also,
saying,
to be
"Below, I wanted
fair,
to put
if we're gonna go hypercritical on all this, and I'm not gonna play dumb here, Nano isn't exactly fucking telling them straight out, "Hey, you're talking shit on other VTubers." Like, yeah, you can say you were manipulated all you want, but you're actively participating in the talking of shit. like, just be like, "Hey, yeah, no, fuck off. I'm still gonna work with them, or I'm just not gonna make models for you anymore." like what? Like if we want to be so for real right now, like maybe I'm being a hard ass and like I'm being too critical, but be for
push
real
back
with
and
me
make
right now.
clear I was uncomfortable on being dragged into drama, and they responded by bringing up more drama.
You
and
didn't
racist
make it
claims,
clear you were
all about trying to
uncomfortable with
guilt
it
trip me.
though.
It is ironic
And there's a
and crazy
special
to me
word
that I
that kind of
mentioned not
lost
wanting
its
to be dragged
meaning,
into personal
but it's also
issues,
the
only
word
for them
no.
to, on
Yeah, I know.
multiple
That's what I'm
occasions,
talking
mention
about right
other
now.
people's alleged drama.
They're so this is
this
so
is
dumb.
where things
Just
get
be like,
real,
"Hey,
because it's not
stop
Redacted
talking
doing the
shit."
talking, it's Cinder direct.
Oh my God.
The DMs were from
This is-
February
this
11th,
is a momentous
2025, so just
occasion.
a couple of months ago, and it starts with Nano saying, "Cinder, just wanted to say sorry for stepping back on the exclusivity deal. Wanted to apologize personally to you since I've only talked about that with Red, but I just don't want to be dragged
But
on
this
any
also-
personal issues like that."
This
After
is also saying that there was an exclusivity deal at some point. I'm not saying that that's right. Cinder obviously needs to go fuck off because you can't be like, "Oh yeah, I own you now." But Nano also is saying that they agreed to an exclusivity deal. I don't know if people are just like ignoring that. Are they just like not reading that? I don't know. Red, not me, red. The other red's bad. Red, not me, red. The other red. If I'm talking about if I'm talking to you, I'll usually say your comment as I'm talking to you. And if I'm talking about this red, I'm usually gonna be laughing my ass off because this is so dumb.
Overall, Blank is still a client, and it makes me anxious and kind of destroys my mental.
Here,
to
I'll
do
call
this
you
kind of
Void.
deal.
How's
Just wanted
that?
to let you know, I
For
still
now,
love
I'll call you
working with
Void while
in
we're
Red,
doing
but
this.
I'll understand if things doesn't work out because of Blank. I just love my clients, that's all. 3 hours later, Cinder replies with, "I get it, Nano, and it was unfair to push this on you, but it's just really confusing going back and forth about it. I just get compared to her a lot, even still today, and it's like I'm always living in someone's shadow, which is one reason why Redacted
No
asked
shit, she's
about
one of
not
the
making
biggest
any more
VTubers,
models
like, of
for
all
her. And
time.
when you said, "I
Shy
understand
Lily
if
is the
things don't
goat."
work out," it makes me feel like you're okay with not
I'm
working
glad
with
there's
me
someone
anymore,
else who's
which
in the
hurts
middle
so
of
much after all this time.
this.
I really
Exactly,
appreciate you, Nano,
like
and it's your
honestly,
decision
like
who you ultimately
obviously
work with,
Cinder's
but this is how I've
not
been
good,
feeling.
but
Nano
also
continues in the DMs, replying
they're
with,
being
"I
really
don't really see
sketchy."
the point of keeping thinking
And
about
people are
being
ignoring
compared
that.
to Blank. You're so much
Like-
bigger
like,
already. You've
there's
done
no-
so much more. But I would never
Like
give
you
Blank
have to
any
be selective reading this
priority
to
over
not
you.
think that they're
Also,
both a
there's
little
not even any
being a
model
little
for her
sketchy,
being
you know what I mean?
discussed. I just want to sleep clear-minded. Also, I'm fine not doing her models, but at least GamerSup's art stuff would be fine with me. I don't want to be 100% an asshole to her, that's all. And Cinder replies with, "It's not me, but other people's opinions of us. And I'm just trying to not get involved in any drama that other people want to talk about comparing us. But I understand where you're
Nobody
coming
was
from,
talking about
Nano.
comparing
There's still
y'all,
hurt
'cause you
feelings."
guys
And
are
Nano says,
friends.
"Sorry about this. My mental is just a bit weak." Cinder says, "Same, girl." To which Nano says, "I'm sorry for bringing this to you." Cinder then replies with, "I want you to get that money. The whole situation is just kind of sucky. I want to just get along." And then Nano specifies that the phrase that she said, "I understand if things didn't work out," meant that it would be mostly if you hate me for not burning Blank down from from my list. To which Cinder reassures her, saying, I would never hate you. And Nano said,
Cinder,
thank
you
you,
are
and
the
same,
drama,
I'm just a
exactly.
insecure bitch. Cinder ends
Cinder,
this conversation
you're
by
kind of
saying,
being a
I
little
love
crazy
everything
right
we've
now.
done together, and I want to keep doing more.
But
People saying
also,
dumb shit
Nano
online just
isn't
makes me
shutting this
stressed.
down.
Nano
She's
continues
not.
in the
She's playing
document,
along.
saying,
And I
justifying their
don't.
behavior by
Why are
stating
people?
they're simply looking out for
Why
me
are people
when none of this
not
has anything to do with me to
clocking
begin
this?
with,
Like,
and
what?
manipulating me into being
Like, I
grateful
can't.
for earning well thanks to them despite the loss of work from long-time returning clients and new clients. As you can see, this is already
What
a
loss of work?
handful,
You
and
just
we're barely
you just
halfway
showed
through
us that
this
you were working
document.
with
It gets
Lily at some
worse.
point.
The next section in the document
What?
is called Concerning My Work
What?
and Models
And
as a
they said that
Team.
they're
Another
paying you.
example of
Like,
going after
I'm
other
trying
clients of
not to
mine
get on
from
their ass,
before,
but like
claiming
this
that
is
having
being
more
this is
clients
sketchy.
alongside
This is
them makes
sketchy,
my work
right?
less special, with the recurrence of it's just business, manipulating me into believing that working with her is special for multiple reasons and that I risk losing that special something
you're
as
a grown
client
up.
if I prefer to work
Be so
with
for real with me
others.
right now.
No
You're
acknowledgement of
a
my
grown
reasoning and
woman.
the need of working with other
You're a
clients
grown
due to the
woman.
nature of my
I
work
can see through that shit.
solely
You
focused
definitely
on their
can,
issues.
bro.
I would also like to note again that this screenshot
Ash,
is
you
one
were
of
on
many
their ass, and
occasions
it's
that
good
indicate that
because you're
Red
asking
speaks
the
on
good
Cinder's
questions.
behalf. I was
I
originally
feel
concerned
bad.
with everything going through
But, like,
Red,
what
but it
is
may
this?
not have been 100% of Cinder's feelings or wants. I messaged her about it to make sure that he spoke on her behalf and confirmed with both of them this was the case. So this is it. Some people read only the first few pages of the document and concluded, wait, this isn't Cinder, this is just her manager. He's probably speaking on her behalf and she has no idea. Well,
Don't be
this
as
right
evil
here
as Oni.
confirms, no, not only was she
I'll try
aware of
not.
what
I'll
he
try
was
not. It's
saying,
alright.
but
It's
she
alright.
fully
We'll
agreed
make
with
it out. We'll make
everything
it
her
out.
manager said. These DMs date back to November of 2023, and it's Nano starting off the conversation saying, hey Cinder, hope you're doing okay. I talked with Red and I believe he talked to you already, and I thought it would be best if I just check here personally. Actually, I wanted to know better your thoughts because Red tried to talk to me and I think I misunderstood things. To which Cinder says, I'm doing good. What's up, Nano? Nano then says, oh,
I'm
it's
saying
mostly
be
about
as
this.
evil
And
as
it's
an
a
Oni.
screen cap.
Okay.
Red said in their DM saying,
All
not
right,
to
I'll-
discredit any of your
okay,
work
I'll-
because
we'll
everything
see
you
about
work
that.
on
We'll
is
try.
the top of the line incredible. But when everyone's a Nano baby, it feels less special to be one, if that makes sense. Kind of been getting the same feeling from gamer subs lately too. To which Nano says, I thought on canceling some models because of it, but then I realized it's not really fair to me. To which Cinder
What?
replies with,
I don't know.
understand what he means,
I don't know,
but at
bro.
the end of the day, it's just business. Bro, what is this? The mafia? Pointing a
That-
gun at
this
your
is what
head
I was
and
talking
before
about.
shooting you
Some
saying
motherfucker
it's
made
nothing
candles
personal,
about this
it's just
line.
business? What the hell is this? She then continues, of course we love working with you and want to keep working together, but if you prefer to work with other clients instead of me, I know it's for a reason for you to help grow and not because you don't like me. Being one of
Yeah,
your
wait,
very first
that
model
sounds
babies
reasonable.
was so amazing. I was happy
That
to
sounds
be able to
reasonable
find someone to
enough.
help you with live 2D cutting to improve your skills, and I think that's a big part of why I love the 1.0 model and then started asking you for them.
She just
I can
said that
have
she's
Redacted
okay with you
send
taking
a
other
list of our
clients.
plans for the future and estimated due dates, so just let us know what you actually want to work on. That way I have time to look
Oh,
for
thanks
someone
for
else if you don't
following.
have time for my projects or don't want
Nice
to
to-
do
nice
them.
to meet
It feels
you.
special to only have your model art for all my outfits, but just let me know if you don't have time for me to be an exclusive Nano art baby anymore. Nano then replies with, it's no personal reason. I would
No,
never
she
do
just
something
said that
like
it's
this to
okay
you
if
or
she
anyone,
can't
but
be the only
it's
one anymore.
important for my job to reach far, and I like working on different projects and people. I never ever said I don't want to work with you anymore. I told Red that even though I have my other works, I will always have a way to get you a priority spot when possible. You'll always be my special baby. Cinder replies with, I also think it's important for you to work on projects that you're excited about, so I'll go through my plans
I'm
with
very
Red
slow.
and send you our
Me t- I
ideas to see if
feel-
it's
I
possible
feel
with
like
your
my brain
schedule.
is, like,
I know he can be a
melting.
little pushy sometimes, but it's because he's just doing business for me to grow too, and he absolutely loves your work just as much as I do. Nano says it's okay. We'll update you guys ASAP, and Cinder says sounds good to me. Nano continues in the document saying, Red tries to make it look like they never meant for it to appear like they wanted me to be exclusive by framing it as something I wanted, while immediately doubling down on the fact that me working
Mine's
with
already
more
gone off
people
the
makes my
Marvel
work
Rivals
less
comp.
special
No,
and
real. That's
longer
real.
unique,
I feel
as
like
if every design
maybe
is just a Cinder clone. These are DMs also
they're
from November
dumb.
2023
I
between
think
Nano
that
and Redacted, in
the
which Nano
VTubing
says,
community
so it's
just
about
might be
working with Cinder.
really
My friends
dumb.
told me
That
it's a bit
might be the
unfair for me to
answer.
stop working other models, so I do more for Cinder, which I agree with them. I'm a free artist and I should do whatever I want to do. I don't want to take sides on any drama or situations. I still will always have a way to have open slots for Cinder, but I won't be having her as my only customer. Redacted says, I agree. You're a free artist and you should do what you want, but I was under the impression that taking on more Cinder work is what you wanted to do. I didn't think it was like we were making you do that. Nano then says, guess we got a misunderstanding.
Yeah, you guys
on both
seemed like
sides.
you just
It's more
came to a
about this."
conclusion.
And she replies with the initial message from Redacted, in which he was like,
Why are
yeah,
you
not to discredit
wait,
your work
what the-
or anything,
y'all just
but
came to a
whenever you work with
conclusion.
other
You
clients,
guys
it
just
makes your
both
work less
agreed
special, right? To which Redacted
that you're
says,
not
"Oh, I see.
doing
I mean, what I
only
said
her
is
work.
still true about how we feel, but I wasn't saying you had to only do Cinder work from now on. Uh-huh.
Wait, what?
Bro, what the hell is this,
No.
man? He then
Ash, are you
continues, "That's
saying
with
demon is
anything,
dumb?"
though, not just your
Honestly,
work.
yeah.
If you have something special and then everyone wants
My
and gets
sister's a
that
little bit
thing,
dumb,
it
but I
makes
love
it
her. It's
less
okay.
special. I'm sorry you were under the impression we were trying to make you only do work
Wow,
for us.
yeah,
I will keep things more business
don't
talk
tell
and
her,
less
it's okay.
emotional. Lol. Just let me know how this will affect your schedule so I can tell Sender after. Sorry for the stress, Nano. To which she replies with, "But every single model I do is unique and I make them special in their way. It's not like I'm selling Cinder to everyone. Please don't feel this way." Redacted then says, "No, I know. You pour your heart and soul into
I mean,
your
I
models.
can't
and they're all
really deny it.
incredible."
I've
And
seen
Nano
it.
ends this conversation with, "I'm sorry I made you both feel
I
this
feel
way
as if
too."
because
So
since
textbook
people steal what
manipulation,
Nano's work,
textbook
they only
gaslighting,
kiss up to her.
textbook backstabbing. I mean,
First
is there
hand on stream.
anything here
No,
that doesn't
bro.
scream manipulation?
No, I
to
feel
you?
I
Reading
I
through
feel
these
like
DMs,
you
I
might
feel
be a little bit
very
right on
sorry
that.
for Nano. She clearly loves to
But
make
I feel
art
like
and is so conflicted
I feel like
here
people
because
just
she
want to make
values
an
Cinder
example
as
out
a
of
friend
Cinder,
and
kind
client,
of.
but at the
Like,
same
honestly,
time, her
yeah,
gut
Cinder's
feeling
kind of
tells her
being
something's wrong.
an
These are very
asshole.
unreasonable
But
demands.
also, wait a
The
second.
document continues. It's simply
like,
business.
come on, guys.
Normalizing their behavior
Use
once again
your
by stating
reading
that it's simply
comprehension
business
skills.
to sabotage other VTubers' careers
Like,
and not
what are
work
we
with
talking
them
about
and
here right
focus on
now?
Cinder instead.
Be
This is
so-
again
be
from
for
November
real.
2023, in which Redacted says,
I'm
"It's
trying
okay,
so hard to be
Nano.
for real.
You're just making a
Like,
living
what-
and making a name
like,
for
what is
yourself. And I
this?
can't blame you for accepting work from other big names in the industry and having very desirable
They're
talent.
literally
If you
saying
end up filling your model schedule
that
again
they're
like
okay
was,
with
let me
it.
know. We'll have to replan some things depending on that." Nano replies with, "Thank you for understanding my side. We're all trying to have our names somewhere. Just don't take this personal or anything. I still love working with you guys, and again apologize for the trouble on your plans. I'll still revisit my
What?
list and see what I got." He then says, "Business is business. If you want to go through the projects we talked about and let me know which ones you'd want to do too." Later
Yeah,
on,
they
Redacted
just
replies
said-
to another message from Nano in which he says, "I don't want to take any sides on any drama or situation." And he says, "Is this about blank model?"
Hold on. First of all, Nano's the one that just brought up drama. Second of all, I think that they're taking the business is business out of context. Is probably the most suspicious thing I've seen someone say. Yeah, you're right. But honestly, business is business. I feel like they're just dumb. Like the person who's saying it, I think Redacted is just dumb. Cinder also said it, so she's also dumb. Since you guys are claiming to be friends, but I think that they're trying to say this in a way that's like, yeah, no hard feelings. It's just like we understand that you want to go, you need to work with other clients. That's business. I think that's what they mean by it. But they're just really dumb and uncharismatic and don't know how to say what they're saying. I feel like that's another big problem with the VTubing community, is that none of them know how to speak to each other, which is probably why this is online and in a doc instead of them calling each other and being like, hey, what the fuck is going on? Oop, I just got an alert about this video from YouTube. I'm not even subscribed to him. Mugen is the GOAT. He makes these things simpler for me to understand, but he also has some different takes than me, I'm not gonna lie.
Nano. Nano says, "Yeah, I want to take it, but I don't want to disrespect Cinder. I just want to do pretty models, no hurt feelings." Redacted then says, "Business is business," to which Nano replies with a crying emoji. Redacted replies,
By the way, I'm coming at this with a completely, I don't know any of these people. I've never watched any of their stuff. I have zero idea who the fuck these people are. I just know that, hey, this is some bullshit. What am I watching right now?
with, "Nano, you're a freelance
This is such a
artist
dumb
and Blank is a
situation.
longtime
Cinder
client,
needs
so
to
it makes sense to
stop
continue doing work for
being
her. I
socially
understand the
inept.
logistics of it. At the end of the day,
And
you need to do
Nano
what's best
also
for
needs-
you."
they
Nano
all
replies
need to
with,
stop
"I
being
really
socially
appreciate you for
inept.
understanding my side.
Please,
I do understand your side too,
Ash,
but
you are
sadly
watching
it's
the
something
funnies.
between
I
you two
guess
and
so.
not me.
I
You shouldn't
guess
get
so.
involved in this fight.
We have the
I just
we
go
have the fucking
art,
funnies
whatever." Redacted
cartoons
then
running,
says,
I
"Right,
guess.
I know. I just didn't think our conversation sounded like I was trying to make you not work with her on a model, like blank specifically." Nano then says, "Maybe I just considered the situation too much. My mistake for thinking this way." And
I
he
see
says,
it
"It's
as
okay."
they don't
Then
like
Nano
how
says,
fast
"But are we
Cinder
good
grew,
for
so they
real? This feels like a weird
posted
breakup.
online and
I'm
made it as big as
stressing."
possible.
And Redacted says, "Me and
Big
you
as
are
it is now.
good, but I still
Honestly,
have to tell all."
I could see where you might get that, but honestly, I think this is just them all being dumb. I think this seems like such a stupid fucking situation. And the video hasn't even gotten this. The video's only 28 minutes through, and it's an hour and 50 minutes. So maybe I'm completely wrong, and there's gonna be more evidence. But right now, it just seems like this is dumb. And I'm the only one who messes up the cartoon. Be so for real right now. Don't play with me right now, Void. I swear to God. Bro, this is such a dumb situation.
This to Cinder, "It'll be fine. Don't worry. I think she's still sleeping." So it's just a constant back and forth. It's very exhausting to talk to people like this because in 2023, they made her think that by taking on other clients, her art
Except
meant less.
Nano
Then when she confronted
kept
them about it,
adding
they were like,
things
we never meant that.
which
We just want you
continued
to
the
work on Cinder's
conversation.
models. Do what you got to do. But then we saw very recent DMs
What do you
from
not like
2025 as
to
well
be
as
derailed?
2024 in which they were telling her do not work on models. For
I
these
try not to be
people in
derailed. I
particular.
want to
This
make.
just keeps
I don't
getting
want
worse
this
and worse.
to
Nano
drag on
continues
too
the
long since
document
this
saying
video
damage
that we're
control,
reacting to
making
is an
sure none of
hour
this reaches
50
the other
minutes long.
VTubers and is all kept hush hush.
And I
while
don't- I
also
just don't have the
providing
time
proof
for
They
that.
know what they do is ill-intended and should not get out, as it would cause issues for Cinder's career to be painted in this light. Note that the uncalled shot at VTuber 1 is even spoilered, a hidden message in Discord, so it wouldn't.
Okay, I'm done
accidentally
editing
be
for the
leaked.
night, and my
This was
computer
from the
is
same
very
day in
slow.
November 2023. A
Yeah,
lot
I
was
know.
revealed
My
that
computer,
day. Nano
like,
says,
all
"I
the
tried to be
storage is gone. I
transparent
don't
as much
even
as
know what the
possible.
fuck
I think it's
happened,
more
bro.
fair for
Like,
both
it's just
sides
all
this
gone.
way." And Redacted says, "You didn't tell Blank you canceled because of Cinder, did you?" And Nano said, "No, I told all of them it was health issues. I would never blame anyone besides Blank." Redacted then says, "Lol, we never want to make you feel like we're making you or forcing you to work on / not
Yeah,
work on something.
yeah, she just
especially if
said
it's
that they're
something you
not-
want to
they're
/
not
don't
forcing
want
you.
to do." In our conversation
What
the
the
other
fuck
day
are we
doesn't
talking about
mean
here
to
right now?
convince you
Please
of
don't piss
only
me
doing
off.
Cinder work. Again, sorry that it sounded to you like I was telling you to do only
Yay,
Cinder work.
44
I'll message
minutes.
you later.
Yep.
So ever since 2023,
44
Redacted
minutes of
and
this
Cinder have been
blasphemy.
obsessed with just this one VTuber, always tracking what she's doing and not wanting her to hire Nanolist no matter what. Here you can see Redacted saying, "Well, let's see if Blank wants a nano model or not, and hope Blank
The
finds
talking
someone
shit
else."
earlier
Nano
though,
continues
that
in the
was
document
weird.
saying the constant
That was I'm
obsession with
keeping
VTuber
making you
1
keep
and
this in
claiming
mind
she's
because
asking
Cinder
for it
Cinder
by
doesn't
causing
seem
this
like she's a
unspoken
complete victim.
competition, which is
But
coming
also,
from absolutely no other source than Cinder herself.
Nano doesn't
So
seem like a
Cinder
victim
was
either, since she
convinced
just
this
said that she's
VTuber
been
was
lying
competing
about
with her
health
directly
issues,
and wanted to steal
and
her
she
from
also
it.
was
It's
participating
censored
in
this
talking
document,
shit.
But we'll later find out who this is because she also made her own document. Yeah, we're gonna be here for a while. Nano's document ends with around 3 or 4 screenshots showing this absolute obsession with this VTuber and the unhinged thought process that Redacted and Cinder had towards them. This is
Also-
Redacted saying, "I think it's more like wanting her to recognize Cinder even though it literally doesn't matter. I feel like there's this unspoken competition between them. Like they
Also,
need to
Red
one-up each
and
other
Cinder are
because
different
Blank can get
people.
along." But I also
People keep
understand her
saying,
point of view.
"Oh yeah,
Any VTuber who
well
people
it's
say
they,
looks, sounds,
them,
and
they're
acts like
them
you
together.
becomes just as
They
successful as
everything
you
they
and
did
here.
this
If she
together.
did recognize
They
Cinder as an equal or
seem
a
like they
friend,
have
then
very
it would
different
be
point of
like she's
views.
endorsing her
Like
copy,
the
or
way
like
that they
I've seen
speak
some
is very
people say her
different
replacement.
from
They
just
share a
from
lot
like
of
the
same
messages I've
audience, too.
seen
Like,
between
at the
them.
end of the day, it isn't just about how much we make compared to her. We just want her to recognize, hey, Cinder is a big VTuber too. She got there on her own merits, just like you did. Get along. And the marketing potential and money they could make if they teamed up. I just know anything we do, she's watching and will take from or try
This
to
is
outdo.
dumb.
Oh my
This-
God. You
this
know the
is more
spinning
dumb.
figure we have on stream?
I
Blank's
still
figure
think you're
was
talking
announced
about
on
me for a
Wednesday.
few
No
seconds.
spinning figure. Cinder debuts
That's
Saturday.
it,
Everyone
so I
hears about it.
realized, lol.
Figure announced. Spinning
Bruh,
figure on
I
screen
promise
with
I'm calling you
exclamation mark
Boyd just
figure
for the
right
stream,
next to
okay?
it.
I promise.
Blank
I don't want to
streams
get
yesterday. First stream
confused.
since Cinder debut.
Yeah.
Guess what? Spinning
No,
figure
but this
with
shit is
exclamation
dumb. This shit right here, this is dumb. This is really dumb.
mark figure next to it. Now, this might seem confusing, but we were just talking about VTuber 1. But there was another VTuber that both Cinder and Redacted were
Like,
obsessed with.
she's
a
watching and will take
Cerberus
from.
pup
Why the fuck do you think
VTuber.
you're that
Here we
important?
have Redacted.
Like, why do you think anybody cares that much about you that they're watching and they're gonna take stuff from you? Like, what are we talking about right now? Like, I genuinely don't understand. Like, what are we talking about here right now? Like, I genuinely don't
Talking about her
understand people who are like,
accusing
oh,
her
they're
of
they're
copying
they're
Cinder
after
every
me.
chance
They're
she
gonna
got,
take
saying,
my
but like a month
my
later,
model, my
unfollowed her on
life,
Twitter and
my
started taking
earnings.
her
Like,
ideas,
what?
Cinder's ideas, like the flames, and now she's basically rebranded to more of a fire Cerberus, using fire emojis all the time, shaking my head. Never
Wait,
did that
who?
before. It's funny
We're
because
talking
she
about
used to
someone
call
different
herself a
now.
hellhound, but stopped when Cinder grew past her and now uses Cerberus or Cerber pup or whatever her lore says she is. I don't know. Nano says the unfollow is weird, and then Redacted
Spite?
says yeah. So it's
Probably,
like, there was
I
also
guess. I
unprovoked
don't
tweets
know.
from her like, I didn't copy anyone else
Tyrell,
for my
do you
design.
play-
My design is all me. This is who I am. Like,
Okay, I'm gonna
who are
ignore you
saying
for a
that to?
second,
Then
Boyd.
he continues and says, oh, lol, on random Cinder clips on YouTube, there was one dedicated Blank fan or someone she knew, I don't know,
Bro,
that would
what?
comment on these clips saying like, when are you going to clip Blank? Only on Cinder clips. Nano ends this document by saying, I'd like to highlight the irony of expecting to be entitled to recognition for her own efforts and size when her own active efforts are tied to sabotaging this very same VTuber. Also feeling
What?
entitled and insisting to
Yeah,
be
no,
recognized by
this
someone
this
else
is
odd.
definitely
Thanks for taking the
Cinder
time to
in the
read through
wrong.
everything.
Like, what
I
the
hope everything
fuck?
makes sense, and everyone who has been hurt, manipulated, or sabotaged by her will find closure. So look, this whole idea of, oh my god, this
Like-
VTuber's copying me or whatever, this isn't the
Like,
first
what are
time
we-
we
what are we
see
talking
it in
about
the
here right
VTuber
now?
space. It happens more often than anyone would like to. But Cinder, as well as Redacted, were taking it to a whole other level. They weren't just concerned by someone copying them, they were obsessed. And they were dragging their artist who has been loyal to them into this mess as well.
Yeah,
because
like what the fuck? Because they're
some people
but
were
also
analyzing
Nano
some
is
of the
still
DMs between
actively
Cinder and Nano,
participating
and
in the
this
shit
part right
talking.
here, where she says being one of your
She's
very first model babies was so
incriminating
amazing. I was
herself
happy to be
along
able
with
to find
Cinder
someone to help
and
you
Red.
with Y2D to improve your skills, and I think that's a big part why everyone loved the 1.0
Like,
model.
as
and then started asking
a
you for them.
fucking
Made people think like,
model
wait, what are you
artist
saying
and an
here? Are you
adult,
saying your skill is
and you're
thanks to
saying you're
me
gonna claim
because I found
they were
someone that can
manipulating
help
me.
your life
Has nothing to
2D
do with
cutting?
me.
And the reason everyone even started to look
Pause
for
for a
you is because they
second
loved my
now.
model
You're a
first.
grown
It
woman.
seemed like Cinder believed Nanolis
you're
owed her
you're
for the
perfectly capable of
success,
being
that she
like,
would be a
hey,
nobody if it
no.
wasn't for Cinder. What a
Yes,
very weird
I was
attitude
told
to have.
easy to combo with,
Additionally,
right?
here's a
The
screenshot
fuck?
of
Are y'all
all
really
the
talking about
models
Marvel
that
Rivals?
Nanolis worked on. Oh my
Good-
god,
good
I have
for
to
y'all, I
censor
guess.
that. Dude,
I wish
her
I could do
boobs
that.
are literally out of the outfit. What? Anyway, as you can see, they don't look the same at all. They're all very special and all have their unique traits. This idea that the more models she worked on would devalue her work as an artist was a ridiculous claim to make, and everyone can see that now. But speaking of everyone, what about her close friends that she backstabbed
Bro, what
so
the fuck?
shamelessly? What was their reaction? Well, Cottontail was one of the people mentioned in that document that both Cinder and her manager were trying to keep away from Nano,
So,
even though they were friends.
Honestly, most of the shit in that document was just petty drama, except for the stuff at the very beginning and the very end. At the very beginning, it was fucking they were shit talking Bao and Shy Lily and being like, yeah, blah blah blah, we think that she's trying to ignore us. However, they did have grounds to think that, since Shy Lily did kind of ignore who was raiding her. Even if she doesn't have to acknowledge another streamer on stream, I understand that that's something that some VTubers do so that they can keep engagement or whatever. I don't know. But also, like, Nano, come on now. Come on now. You're an adult. You can be like, hey, shut the fuck up. Also, this stuff at the end was definitely, they were in the wrong for that one. Cause like, what are we talking about here right now? What the fuck do you mean? They're watching us and they're trying to take our art and our money and our viewers, and I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Chill the fuck out. Ain't nobody care that much about you.
Redacted says you don't work with Bao.
That's a very self-centered way of thinking. Is all I'm thinking right now.
Saying,
like,
this made my stomach drop to read. It makes me very sad to have things come out like this. Sending Nano and Bao so much love. I mean, I can't even imagine thinking that someone is my friend and they're out there in DMs getting their manager to get.
They're eating the cats. They're eating the dogs. Okay, be so. Shut the fuck up. Oh my god.
Cottontail was far from being the only one affected here. 5 minutes after Nano released her document,
Cottontail was
Bao
like mentioned like
quote-tweeted
once,
and said,
right?
I
I don't
was
know.
very hurt by someone I thought was a friend, with her own Google document. Now look, many friends of Cinder were involved in this, but Bao was more involved than most.
It
this
seems
didn't
like
just
this
concern Nano,
happened
it also
because
concerned editors as well as animators.
Cinder got way too in her
here's what
head
Bao
about
had to
it.
say in her document,
Like, she
saying,
started
"Hello,
thinking, like,
this is Bao. I will
because
always speak to what Nanolis has decided to share with the public and the messages
what
that
it just
directly
reminds me
mention
of
you
that.
by name.
Okay,
I would like
because
to kindly ask everyone
alright,
to
you're right.
refrain
You're
from
kind of
turning
right.
this into a witch
No,
hunt
but
and remember that we are still humans at the end of the day.
it just seems
Before
like
I
Cinder
start, I
got
want
in
to
her head
point
about
out
this
why I'm
stuff, and she
addressing
got like
both
very
Cinder and
insecure.
Redacted, despite the messages being largely from
And
Redacted.
whenever
Many times throughout the
Bao
messages, the
started
words
working
"we,"
with so many of the
"we're,"
people that she
"our"
was also working
occurred
with,
numerous
she
times.
started
As someone
getting
who was
even more
close to
insecure
and
about
worked with
that,
Cinder for
and that's
years,
probably
I
what
have
what
firsthand
caused like
experience
the
on how
friction
Cinder
between
and
her
Red
and Bao,
collaborate and the extent to which
which
Red operates
obviously
as her
could have been
primary
talked
point of
out
contact
on a
in her
fucking
professional
Discord
and
call.
personal projects. It is that
Also,
experience that leads me to believe that
I want to pause right here. The people who are like, oh, people are dragging this. Once you make something like this public, this is public knowledge, bro. Like what? Especially with such fucking big VTubers, like, be for real with me right now. I don't know. Y'all, this entire community is fucking retarded.
And approved of by Cinder. In March 2024,
Cinder
I
got
announced
way
that
too
one of my
insecure and let
subathon goals was
Redacted
a
warp
live
her
TV
views.
model.
Probably,
This
yeah.
right here is the
Like
tweet of her
that seems like the
announcement.
most
If she reaches
fucking
10,000
accurate
subs,
way to
she's
depict
gonna
what just happened
commission
right now.
a new sexy
Crazy how this
mommy
is just
live
two
TV
children
model.
fighting
That's
over a
what she's
toy,
referring
but with
to.
adults.
She then continues,
Exactly.
Nanolis was going to be
Exactly.
the live
Oh my
TV
god.
illustrator. After she finished
Bro,
both
like,
the
what the
design
fuck?
and base model sketch, there was suddenly back and forth on whether or not she had the physical and mental capacity to continue my model. I was very sad, as I had not only teased the screenshot of the model sketch on
Yeah,
Twitter, but I
see,
had grown
now
very attached to the design.
Nano fucking lied about health problems. Are we just gonna gloss over that? Like there's a large majority of the VTuber community has fucking health problems, and like fucking Iron Mouse, the goat, she can't fucking walk. Isn't that right? or she can walk, but she has a fucking feeding tube, all of that stuff. Like, that's like, and then fucking Nano's lying about that is crazy. That's like diabolical shit. Like, that is a fucking mastermind evil shit. Like, like, why are we acting like this shit is like they're all innocent? Like, no.
I shared how
honey, no.
I
What the
was,
fuck?
and she did not comment or say anything, despite others in the group chat comforting and reassuring me. I now realize that the reason for her silence was because Cinder and Redacted were deliberately
her immune system isn't strong enough. Yeah, like I know, like that's something I know, because Demon is like, she loves Iron Mouse. So every time I go over to her house, that shit's playing. So I'm like, oh, she's cool, because she also like raises money for the poor. Like, she's awesome. But also, how the fuck is Nano gonna disrespect, like, that's so disrespectful to an entire community. Like, what the fuck are we talking about right now? Even if Nano is also part of, like, if she is disabled, you're weaponizing that. Ash, guess what? Almost 1 hour. Yep. Almost an hour of this absolute blasphemy, this fucking bullshit. Like, what am I watching right now? This is such, like this is so childish. Like,
this is what Redacted lists as reasons
this is such
why
like
Nano
high
should
school
cancel
drama.
her ongoing life to decommission with me, all the while continuing to collaborate with me and pretending to be my friend. This is not what friends do. Friends do not sabotage other friends out of business opportunities. Friends do not spread lies to fuel selfish narratives. Friends do not use the private information they get from the privilege
honestly,
of being
like,
close friends
obviously,
just to
I
use
don't
it
think
to
Bao
manipulate
did
others.
anything like
If
wrong
stepping
in
on
this
your friends and
situation.
using your power and connections is how you get to the top, then I hope
Do you want a
realize
joke
no
then?
one will be
Go
left when
go
you get
for
there.
it. Go
She
for
then
it.
links another screenshot we saw
But I
in
don't think
Nano's
Bao did
document of
anything too
Redacted
wrong.
asking, did you cancel
Why
the
didn't
models?
Eggs tell
And then
jokes?
says more screenshots of them urging Nanolist to cancel the ongoing life to decommission with me, even mentioning how
I don't know,
excited
why
I
didn't
was
they?
about it when I showed them the design during Cinder and I's concert at WeebCon in 2024. That is so scummy. Again,
They
this
might
is a
crack up.
screenshot that we saw in
Go
Nano's
sit in a
document.
corner and think
So
about
then
what
Bao
you
mentioned
just said,
something
bro.
that happened in this conversation
Okay.
between Nano and Redacted,
Alright,
in
stop.
which Redacted was urging her to cancel the model
Okay,
with Bao, and
dude,
Nano
whatever.
saying, I can
No.
give her the design for free as an apology gift. Redacted then said, I wouldn't offer it for free, maybe half price if she starts shit, lol. And Bao quotes that sentence of Redacted and says, I don't know what I have ever done to either Redacted or Cinder to
Friends do
deserve
not
this
talk
level
shit
of
on other
vitriol
friends
towards
under
me.
the guise
I don't
of being
remember having
manipulated.
any issue or any problem that
Yeah,
couldn't have been solved
exactly.
by talking.
That's
So
like
yeah,
the
this
truest
is
statement I've just
really,
like
really
that
screwed up,
completely
obviously.
describes
I mean, anyone
my
can
feelings
tell,
about
right?
Nano
It's
right
like
now.
Bao
Like, what are we
murdered
talking
one of
about
their
here?
family members and got away with it. Like, what did she do, man?
But also
Anyone who's ever
Bao
worked with her has
seems
said
she
nothing
seems
but
like
good
she
things
she
about
really
her.
didn't
Out of
do
all her
anything wrong
friends,
here.
She decided to
She
target
just
the
like
person who
worked
is
with
probably
people
the
that
nicest
Cinder was
out of
also
all
working
of
with,
them.
and she
Anyway,
really
Bao
couldn't have
continues,
anticipated
saying,
Cinder
regarding
being
the
like
messages
insecure
where
like
Cinder and
that.
Redacted
But I also
openly
feel like
accused me of stealing
if they
their
had just
YouTube
like
editor,
had
Boss Rush
a
music video
conversation,
animator,
this
as
could
well
have
as any
this could
artist
have
they
been
have worked
avoided.
with. She attaches
You
an
go
image
for
that
it,
shows an
Void. I feel
email
like you're
between her
suffering
and
because you have the
Kaiser,
same name
their
as
YouTube editor,
Redacted,
in
so I
which she
feel bad
says,
for
Hi
you.
Kaiser, nice to meet you. I was just watching your stream highlight from
What
me and
did one
Cinder's
hat
collab,
say
and
to
I
the other
really loved
hat?
your editing style and humor. I was curious if I could request a video edit from you every now and then if you have any availability.
I don't know, dude. What did the hat say to the other hat? You stay here. I'll go on ahead. Okay, stop it. Stop with these fucking... My dad's dead. I don't need any more dad jokes. Bao has been screwed over by a lot. She needs a hug, honestly. Yeah, I feel bad for her because
My
she
username
doesn't
is
seem
Bao
like
on
she did
Discord
anything
if you
wrong.
wanna chit-chat
Like
more
this,
there.
like
Thanks again. And Kaiser
this-
says, Hi Bao,
you
I'd love
need
to
more.
edit a video for you. I just
Probably.
sent you a
I'm
friend request
suffering.
on
I'm like
Discord.
on the bout
Bao
of
continues in the
insanity.
document saying she hijacked our YouTube editor. Their YouTube
Bro,
editor,
like,
Kaiser, is a mutual YouTube
this
channel
is such a
editor for
dumb
myself and
situation.
Cinder.
Like,
My channel
Nano,
manager, June, and I asked
you're
Kaiser
not
for
like
one stream
Nano.
highlight per month as we are
Don't
aware of his
talk
extensive
shit about your
position
friends
as
under the
Cinder's
guise of being
channel
manipulated.
manager.
That's
I made a
bad.
point to
Don't do
notice
that.
in my inquiry
Also,
email to
but
him in
Bao,
2023.
she
Then
seems
shows
like
a
she like
screenshot
is
of a call
innocent
that
in
lasted
this.
5 hours and says, on
Like,
March 20th,
go for
I
it,
started a
Terrell.
group Discord call that lasted 5 hours to hang out with my
You guys-
editors. In this group call,
Torturing you
Kaiser
with dad
shared
jokes
with us
is,
that
like,
he was afraid to ask
crazy.
Cinder for a raise because he initially turned down an exclusivity deal. As a friend to both Cinder and Kaiser, I encouraged him to take the deal and reassured him that it would not change our friendship, as I would never want
Wait, so there
someone I care
wasn't
about
an
to miss
exclusivity
opportunity,
deal?
even if it meant I would lose him
That's
as an editor.
crazy.
The other editors who were in the
How do you
call
know
can
when a joke
corroborate.
is a dad
I'm
joke?
sharing this
I don't know,
context
dude.
because there are no words to describe the hurt and betrayal I feel now, knowing that on the other side of this conversation, Cinder and Redacted were actively portraying me as a thief and a detriment to their business. I've only ever supported them and their activities and never once thought
When
that
it
I had
becomes
somehow
apparent.
gotten on their nerves.
Okay, stop.
She then quotes what
Stop it,
Redacted
I need
said
to
in
go.
the DMs with Nano, a sentence that
can't.
said,
I
Bao
can't.
had original
What is
songs
going
last
on
year
here?
that had music videos
I'm
by
going
their
mad.
editor, and the
I'm going
songs
insane.
flopped.
No,
Bao then
but-
says, I'm in shock and disbelief that this
But
is
honestly,
the narrative they
I feel
decided
like-
I deserved, saying that I harbored
Hold
an
on.
invisible
I feel like we got sidetracked while we were reading, like while they were reading Bao's part. But basically they were saying, Nano told Bao that what is it? Brain, formulate words, please. why do I don't know why seagulls fly over the sea, dude. No, but Bao, so she was hold on. If they flew over the bay, they would be bagels. Okay, that's not funny because a fucking seagull stole my fucking french fries whenever I went to fucking Maryland. Like, not funny. no, but wait, what is it? What am I thinking right now? No, y'all distracted me. My brain, my train of thought has like flown away from me. It's like that scene from Shark Boy and Lava Girl, whatever. Okay, no, but it's better than getting shitted on, I guess. No, that's actually horrible. How could you say that? No, okay. Bro, your poor sister. Oh my god. No, but Bao. Stop it. Y'all, you're taking me out. I can't. This has already gone on too long. No. So Bao was taught. So she was told by Nano that Nano was doing an exclusive. So she got canceled on by Nano first, who she excused it with health issues, which is completely disrespectful to the VTube community that she's a part of, but whatever. And then she also she did enter an exclusivity agreement with Sinder, which she ended up getting released from right after, like once she talked to Sinder about it. I'm just a master at derailing people, not my fault, bro. Bro, we need a timeout corner for you.
Flopped made me feel sick to my stomach. In late 2024, I was dealing with debilitating TMJ pain that resulted in me having to drain fluid from my jaw to open my mouth properly. They both knew this.
Wait, so Bao is also a part of this community. That like she's also part of the disabled community of VTubers. So she's not gonna call out Nano for lying to her about that? For like disrespecting her? Hold on. Wait, what's wrong? Horny jail, but close enough to a corner. Okay. I can't do this anymore.
My friends to succeed alongside me, and I don't know how they could say these things while simultaneously weaponizing my most vulnerable moments against me. I mean, at this point, no comment, right? Like, no comment. This is disgusting.
No, the emote is just horny jail.
They were trying to backstab her as hard as they could. She had no idea. She thought they were friends.
That's your prison
so
now.
Her clearing
that's
up
your prison
the
now. You stay in there.
Stole their editor. She did nothing of the sort.
Yeah, she didn't. It doesn't seem like she poached their editor or anything. It just seems like she worked with them. This probably could have been avoided if like there was just like a call beforehand and be like, hey, you're not like
referring to the Boss Rush music video.
Nothing's going on here. You're not like trying to like poach anything.
Sinder and Redacted are referring to
like
my animator, Sacramore, whom
people
I have
just
been
need
working
to
with
learn
since
communication.
2023. She proves this by showing
Is it
DMs
duck
between
season?
them in
No, it's rabbit
2023.
season.
Bao saying, hi, I'm going to bed, but give me your rates and turnaround time for a video like the Bao Experience one. Me and my editors loved it, and Sac said, yo, all good. Then she continues, in 2024, Sac asked me if he could go completely exclusive for me and work for me in-house with no credit in order for him to be able to quietly work on his personal projects and brand without having VTubers ask him for more commission work. I was happy to accept. I want to reiterate that this was Sac's decision and no one else's. Then she says, here is proof of Sac mentioning his wishes to be an in-house animator.
Hey Ash, what is it?
Channel manager
Guess what?
June,
what is
back
it?
in December 2024,
what are you about to say right now?
Refuting Redacted's claims that I locked him up due to Boss Rush's success. These DMs between Sac
what
and
did
June,
the baby
her
corn
channel
to the mama corn?
Sac
I don't
asking,
know.
Yo, is it fine if going forward I don't be credited in video descriptions? To which June says,
yeah, this
okay.
seems
Sac
like
then says, thank you.
Where's
I'd rather
popcorn?
just be more an in-house type of thing for Bao after
okay,
this
stop.
thing is done. It's the last commission I ever do
that's
for anyone
crazy.
besides Bao.
That's
and
crazy.
Want to make a
Where's
name for
my
myself
dad?
through my
I don't
own
know.
content,
He's
and not really my work for
cremated.
others next
I don't
year.
know.
So again, Bao showed up with a proof, and she's showing us how delusional Redacted and Sinder
I get
were.
it. They see
Bao
Nano
then ends this by
posting the
asking,
Google
why aren't
Doc
you solving this
as
privately?
her
And then
slap on the
replies,
wrist.
If you
yeah, I guess. I don't know. No. This is all really dumb. And it feels like because there was no communication on either end, like Cinder should have just gone to Bao and been like, hey, what the fuck's going on? Like instead of talking shit. I feel like she just assumed, what do you call a song about tortilla? I don't know. This is gonna haunt me for the rest of my days. No, but it feels like Cinder has like a very like she's very insecure, right? And because she's so insecure, she took Sac not wanting to work with her right after like that, like the success of her song, as, you know, oh my god, Bao must have done something, because why would this person not want to work with me anymore for any other reason? So it just feels like she's insecure. A rap Okay, dude, stop with the dad jokes. I can't. Why did the man fall down the wall? Well, I don't know. Okay. Because he couldn't see that well. Dude, stop.
Look at the timeline of
I
events from
can't
Mary's document.
anymore.
Some of those messages
Last
date
one, I
back
promise. Okay,
years.
alright.
I found out about this less
We
than
love dad
48
jokes,
hours ago, and
okay.
they did not give me common courtesy of talking to me privately about this over those years. My
Yeah,
thoughts,
bro.
feelings, my most vulnerable, darkest moments that I shared in confidence with people I thought would be by my side years and years from now may have been used as information to ruin my chances to have the same VTuber model as someone I thought
Well,
was
it
my
doesn't
friend,
seem
and
like
I don't
that's
know how
something
I
that
can
they were
ever be the
doing.
same
It
after.
just seems
I
like
would
they
like to
were
ask the community to
misinterpreting
refrain from
things
spreading any harmful
because
speculation. Everything shared in this document was done so
they're
with the express
insecure.
permission
Like
of
that
those
just
who
seems
shared
what
it with them.
happens.
I
Like
made
I feel like this
document
got
with the
blown out of
intent to refute
proportion
the claims
and
made
could
about
have
me
been
in the
solved
screenshots.
if
Thank
they
you
just
for
talked
taking
to
the
each
time to
other.
read this.
The
Yeah,
fucking
what a
VTuber
roller
community,
coaster,
like
right?
the
And I just feel
fucking
very
VTuber
bad for
community
everyone
is all a bunch
involved
of
in this, of
introverts
course,
who don't
except
know how to
Cinder and
speak to each
Redacted,
other,
because this is
and
a
that
horror
is what
story.
causes so much
Imagine opening
fucking
up to
drama all
someone
the time.
thinking
Like,
they're your friend,
oh my god.
always thinking about what's best for them and not coming in their way. And then it turns out that not just recently,
Bao
for
seems innocent in all
years,
this.
ever
I'm not gonna
since
lie.
you
Like,
knew them, they've
Ash, when I
only had
tell you I
negative
got
things to
mod
say
from
about you
telling these
privately.
jokes, would
That
you
is
believe me?
wild, and that of
Dude,
course will traumatize
like, if you
a
keep this
person.
up, I
It's
might just
crazy.
make you a
The
mod
VTuber
too, bro.
scene compiled all the different collabs
Dude.
and things that both Bao and Cinder worked on to really
hold on.
show how much of a terrible person she was talking
Lol,
like this behind
okay.
her back. The song used in the video is a song from Cinder, I'm pretty sure, so I'm gonna mute that just in case she wants to copyright me.
Oh my god. And
Here
then
you go, look at this. They collabed so many different times and met up IRL
yeah,
so many times.
because they're.
too.
It seems like because they're
Like, look at
closer
this tweet
friends. Like
from
the
Bao.
closer you get
Love
to
you,
Cinder, the more
fact that this
insecure
is your
she gets
first
about
shot
it.
at anything musically is incredible, and
Like,
I can't wait
I
to
know
see
a
where
lot
you
of-
go from here.
So I
That's my
still I'm
girl.
in high school, right? I'm 17. It just seems like this all seems like such fucking high school drama. Like I know actual people in real life who are doing the same fucking shit right now. Like they're hold on. Like bro, what? Like be so for with me right now. Like it just seems like you know there's like that group of friends they're girls, they're popular, and one of them, man, I hated high school. I hate it too. Like bro, I'm literally smart enough to fucking test out of school. Bro, like I already have all of the passing tests I need. I wish I could just leave right now. Like whatever. But besides that, no. But like you know the one group of like popular like friends, and they seem really close. But then there's that one girl who secretly she's like she's always talking shit about them, but it's like obvious. It's like she makes it very obvious that it's because she's insecure. I would never go back to high school, bro. I don't recommend. It's not fun.
Like this is insane.
Well, actually,
I'm
I'm not gonna even say that because I don't actually hate high school. You know what I mean? Ash, want to hear one last one? Okay, one last one. Okay, dude. No, but like, if you mind your business and aren't an asshole, it's fine. Like, it's fine. What did the sink tell the toilet? I don't know. What did the sink tell the toilet? You look flushed. dude. Speaking of which, Table had to fix our sink, so he had to like dump like water down the thing. This motherfucker was taking fucking water out of the back of the toilet to dump down the sink to fix the fucking pipes. Oh my god, get this dude.
Mentioned in Bao's document,
Okay,
made sure to
you gotta
confirm
chuckle.
publicly
Alright,
that what
there
she
you
was
go.
saying was true. Her channel manager June quote tweeted the document Bao posted and said, "Hello, I'm Bao's channel
Bro,
manager, and
hi,
yes, I was
people."
there in the call with Kaiser, Bao, and Sak, and Bao encouraged Kaiser to take the raise. It was definitely something she thought would be best for him. Bao supported any opportunity or anything that Kaiser would choose to go." Sak, who is her animator, also quote tweeted the document Bao posted and said, "Feel free to read if you want. Go show love and support to
No,
both Nano and Bao,
Nano
though,"
seems
and linked
just
a Google
like she
document that
literally is
recounted his
using
experiences in this
the
entire
fucking
situation.
like she's
So
using
Sak starts this document off with, "This
she's
is
like,
going
oh,
to
I
be
was
very
manipulated
unorganized, but I'll
as an excuse. She was literally also talking shit. She was also talking shit. She used disability. She weaponized her disability to somebody who was actually going through like severe pain from their disability. Over 1 hour now. I know, right? But at least we got 5 viewers. That's actually a high for me. That's crazy. No, but yeah, Nano was what she's not innocent in this. I really like the more I hear about this, the more she like seems just as bad as Cinder and Red. Cinder and Red seem very insecure, and like Bao, she really seems innocent in all this. But I feel like all of this all of this could have been avoided if they called each other and talked about this shit. Like, this seems like such petty high school drama. It's not even
I'll
funny.
try and keep this brief since I don't really think that they, Red specifically, deserve any more of my attention after hearing what they have
Bro.
said about me and also how working with them was.
Honestly,
so he specifies
good
again
for
that he
Bao.
wanted
Cut
to go
them off.
anonymous and
Don't talk to
in-house,
them.
Not because Bao
Like-
forced him to, but because he wanted to. Wanted
Like,
to
just
focus on his
stop
own
talking.
channel while not worrying about having to be commissioned by other people. Then he addresses what Redacted told Nanolist about him, where he says her editor met us at TwitchCon and was saying that he'd love to work with us, practically
Ash,
jumping
don't
through
look
hoops
at
to get
the
something
view count.
planned.
Just do what you
Zach
do.
Says,
I
when he
don't-
and
I
Cinder
usually
initially
don't, but,
discussed
like,
working
you
on
know
a
what I
music
mean?
video project at TwitchCon,
I feel
everything was
bad when
fine
I
and
don't say
friendly.
hi to people
However, the part that is stated
because
as
I'm
practically
autistic,
jumped through
so
hoops is, well, a bit
that's
of
a
an
problem.
overstatement to say the least, since they had asked me a significant amount of times trying to get me to work with them after
Like,
I
my
told
mom
them no
can,
multiple
she'll walk out
times,
of the
and I
room,
only said
and
yes
the
because
second
they
she comes
offered
back, I
me
say hi to
pay.
her. Even if
So
she
in
was
this
just
DM,
out
you
for
can
like
see in
2 seconds, I'll
September,
say hi
Redacted reaching out to
every single
Zach,
time she
asking,
walks
"You
through the
wouldn't
front
happen to
door.
be available for a music video in a week or two, would you?" And Zach saying, "No, I'm completely full every day this month, and earliest I could do is November 9th. Zach really tried to make it work, but couldn't find any slots in his schedule. Redacted would continue asking questions. How long
It
does
ain't
it
just
take
me.
you to
Good
make
to
a
know.
music video? What do you
Anyway,
need?
no,
And
for
even
real.
with Zach
But
saying
like,
multiple
again,
times,
this
"I really
seems like
can't, I'd
Cinder
love to, but I
and
just
Redacted
can't," he
took
says
this out
things
of
like,
context
"Okay,
because
thanks
they're
though, Zach.
insecure.
You're missing out on a good one."
Actually,
Bro.
to be fair, it feels like Cinder is insecure and Redacted is overconfident. Redacted seems like he's very self-absorbed. Like, he thinks this all needs to oh, there has to be some other reason that they can't make time for me. Like, he seems very self-absorbed, and Cinder seems very insecure. Like, she seems like, oh, there has did I do like they must be competing with me. This is this and this and this. And then Bao, she just needs to cut all of these people, like all 3 of these people off. Like Redacted, Nano, and Cinder. They all need to go. Like, Bao, please.
He stated
Like,
he
I
wants
don't know
to, but
any of
just
these fucking
can't.
VTubers,
Redacted
so
then
I'm
keeps
coming at
messaging
this
Zach, talking
like
to him about
from
project
nowhere. Like
specifics,
I have
asking
no
how long
base
things
point to
would
judge
take
any
him,
of the
and saying when
personalities
he's
on.
free.
This
And
is
then,
just
on
what I'm
the
seeing
12th
from
of
this
November
situation.
2024, Redacted messages Zach saying, "Are you available? Sorry for getting back to you so late." Zach says, "All good. I'm still 100% down to do it. I will be
I
able to
didn't know
start
how
like
to
the
email.
first
Oh,
or
that's
second
cute.
week of December for like mid-December release. Is that okay?" And Redacted says, "We were hoping end of November release," to which Zach says, "Oh yeah, that will be impossible for me."
Yeah.
Zach then specifies, "Like I said,
See,
I'm still
Nano,
super
this is
down
how
to
you
do it,
say
and really
no. Take inspiration from this guy. Take inspiration from Zach. See, Nano, it's not that
Really
hard
hope
to be
able
like,
work with
hey,
Cinder on
shut the
video,
fuck
but
up.
My schedule is always super packed / fully planned.
Not
weeks
for
and
you,
months ahead
Fred.
without much wiggle room.
Okay,
so
good.
just let me know what y'all would like to do or feeling." And then Redacted says, "What if we pay you?"
No, but Redacted's a
double?"
fucking idiot.
Zach then
Fuck
says,
him,
"Blank, and
dude.
I'll cook," to which Redacted says, "You can send the invoice to blank whenever. We'll get it paid
Not
ASAP."
this Red. Bad Red.
Zach then continues in the document saying, "Also, I'm not sure what they're on about with Bao not knowing about me working with them, since I asked Bao with Cinder and Red standing right next to me at TwitchCon if it was fine, since I had agreed to do all the Halloween albums.
It sounds like really weird whenever I hear about like VTubers being in the same like
so even
point
though
of
this
like
would
place
sacrifice the
together. I'm
music
like,
video
dude, what the
for one
fuck?
of Bao's songs in her album,
Aren't y'all supposed to be
she
like 2D
still said,
characters?
"Yes,
Whatever.
please go ahead." I mean, Cinder is her friend, as far as she knew, right? Then Zach goes on to detail his work experience with Cinder and Redacted, saying, "Also, the stream was pushed back for the reason of the video wasn't done yet. Song was going up at 2 p.m. if I remember. However, this part really got under my skin due to the fact that it was just straight up not true, and if something goes wrong in the video production line, no matter who's at fault, the blame will always fall to the editor / animator pretty much every time. I'm still
Well,
not sure why
I don't
stream
know.
was pushed back."
Okay, time
So
to go
it
to
felt
work.
as if I was
Bye.
getting passive aggressively
Have a nice
blamed
time at work.
publicly on stream in front of thousands for the lateness really upset me, since the video was not late even under a very tight deadline, where I did not even receive all the artwork until the 18th, the first full master until the 19th, and was then
Dude,
asked
what
to
the
also
fuck?
make a teaser version as well as an ad
So
for the end of
this
the video
seems
for
like
their
they
merch
were.
on the 21st,
Oh, this is
which I was
probably
not
where
informed
I
of
just
at
realized
all
you
prior
had
to
your
planning.
YouTube linked.
I
Well,
also had skipped
yeah.
going home for Thanksgiving after having a
Dude.
family member pass to get this video done,
Dude,
and
what-
rushed the hell out of
what
it.
is
The entire
going
video was
on?
done from scratch in a little under
Okay,
2
so
weeks,
now-
since there were quite
now
a
I
few
can see,
both
like,
visual
where-
and audio
where
assets I did
accusations
not
of
have at the
overworking
time,
someone
that
could
even
come
remotely
from.
resembled what the final product will
But
sound
again,
like.
it
So I
seems
felt
like
this
this
was an
seems
attack
like
on my work
Red.
ethic, which
This
is
is
something I
probably
take
has to
quite a
do
lot
with
of
Red
pride
because
in.
he's the
I
one
did not
that
receive
like
the
I'm
merch assets
associating with
until the
being
27th
like
as well either.
very
Even with
self-absorbed.
revisions and all the extra trailers, the video was completed and delivered on time with enough time for YouTube to process the 4K version.
And in
It
relationships with like redacted and Cinder, from what I'm reading from them, from like having like an insecure person and then a very self-absorbed person never like mixes well. Like it kind of just ruins all of your relationships.
Between Sack and Cinder as well as Redacted shows us that Bao was nothing more than an amazing
I don't gotta
friend.
worry about that.
And also, even though Cinder
No,
and
for
Redacted
real.
fought so hard to get Sack
Being
over,
single,
paying
it
him
has its
double
perks,
his
I
rate,
guess.
they were terrible clients who weren't prepared, didn't know what they wanted, and still managed to make Sack look bad in front of their audience, even though he missed Thanksgiving just to get the video done on time. It's overall a terrible situation.
No, what the
with
fuck?
With all these documents releasing, pressure was mounting
Yeah, no,
very
this
hard
seems
on
like
Cinder,
very
with people
just like
demanding
self-absorbed,
answers.
like
so
people,
many looked
you know
up
what I
to
mean?
her and loved her content
Like,
purely because of how warm and gentle and kind of a person she portrayed herself on streams. But now people were realizing this was nothing
oh my god, my
more
brain
than an
actually
illusion.
hurts right now. Like
Hours
this
later,
is so
Cinder
dumb.
finally
This is
tweeted
so dumb.
something saying,
Like,
effective
this entire
immediately.
situation is really
Redacted
fucking
will
dumb.
no longer be managing or overseeing my VTuber activities. He no longer represents me as a creator, my brand, or my intentions. I'm sorry, everyone. I will make a larger response when I'm
Oh
able.
yeah, I have water
So
next
I'm
to me.
sure
I
you
forgot
wouldn't be
about that.
surprised when I tell you that this response left a lot to be desired. But then another VTuber pointed out something very interesting. Van Peaches replied to that tweet and said, I remember playing Phasmophobia with you and hearing Red chat away next to you before you first debuted like 4 years ago. You told me he was your boyfriend. Then before we met for TwitchCon, you switched up and said, just so you know, my
I get
manager's
very
coming with me on the strip,
minded,
as if
but
I didn't know
I'm
who
only
he
looking
was.
at what I'm
It's even
doing.
ickier to read this tweet knowing he is your significant other and that you're probably going to try and avoid taking responsibility for hurting people who trusted you as friends by nuking the red side of this duo.
Get this
So as
motherfucker
everyone
out of
could have
here.
guessed,
Hold on. The fuck? This is very doxy. Like, what are we talking about right now? That seems very fucking doxy. Like,
Acted is her significant other. He's her boyfriend, and he
also,
lives
who the
with
fuck
her.
is this?
She was
Why are
fully
you
aware
why are
of
you
what he
getting
was
involved
doing
in
and
this?
approved of it.
You-
And
you're
yet,
fucking-
right now, she was
oh my
throwing
God,
him
dude.
under the bus to try and save her career, when everyone knows this is nothing more than a desperate attempt to save your skin without facing any responsibility. It was a very lackluster response
you
to an
and what you did with
apocalyptic
Demon in her
expose
name.
on who
Okay,
she
stop. It's first of all, Demon said my name too, and second of all, it's very hard to start calling your sister by her VTuber name. Okay, but I haven't mentioned it since then. Okay, and I get it, you're joking, but like, okay, yeah, no, but this motherfucker, bitch, get the fuck out.
is behind the scenes.
Also,
and speaking of who she
Mujin, hold on. That she didn't say anything about throwing Red under the bus though. She just said that he's no longer working for her, and this probably was her waiting in between her and her apology. Wasn't it a nickname if I remember correctly? No, so she said my name like twice, but then she also said my nickname at some points. I don't know. It's alright though. Like honestly, I don't care. I'll just say my name flat out if I really wanted to. So like I really don't care. Fuck it. No, but like this seems like they're dogpiling her at this point, which is fucking weird. Like it just takes like a little bit of faith in humanity, you know what I mean? If you're looking for more drama, you're gonna find it. But like if you're just like, if you think about it with like a logical sense, oh, she I have no clue what these are supposed to be. I thought they were like fish or something. I don't know, bro. But like, my brain it's actually starting to hurt.
was behind the scenes.
This is so dumb. Hold on, what just happened? Okay, no. This is really dumb.
Someone else came out with a document by the name of Rain on a topic that no one could have ever expected, saying, fuck it. My experience with Tashi/Cinder, content warning, cheating?
Okay.
Dude, this just keeps getting worse.
Okay,
Let's
dude,
look at
no.
this.
I saw about this on Twitter. This had absolutely nothing to do with any of this. Apparently, Cinder cheated on Redacted, on her boyfriend. It's weird. That shit, why the fuck would you bring that up? That has nothing to do with you. What the fuck?
This document. So this goes back way before
Like, what?
Cinder was even a thing. This is about Tashi, her previous persona. Things were getting so spicy, my tongue isn't working anymore. The document starts off with, hello,
flashbang.
thank you
Like,
for
what the
taking the
fuck?
time to read this document. The events described in it happened about 4 to 5 years ago before
what
the
is
first
going
Cinder
on?
debut. I understand there will be accusations
So this
of
is
clout
before
chasing
she
by
was even
revealing them.
Cinder.
However, I wanted to corroborate Nanoliss's assertion that she is not who she appears to be on the surface.
Nanoliss
and
also isn't who
confirmed
she
that no matter
appears
how
to
much
be.
damage control she does,
from what
she's
I know,
just
she
as
kind of
responsible
sucks.
as redacted. The first section is titled The Beginning. Cinder and I met while she was still running her Tashi.mp3 YouTube channel, which is why all the following screenshots will show her as Tashi rather than Cinder, and that will come up later. At the time, she was only starting her account, and I already had my own ASMR RP channel with 8k subscribers, and as a bigger channel than her, she couldn't wait to work with someone as talented as me. This message dates back to May 2020, with Tashi saying, "You'll get there. It's still hard for me to believe that someone so talented likes my voice enough to want to work together." Rain continues and says, "We never ended up actually making any content together, but that didn't stop us from talking pretty much every day at the time, and eventually she found a new way
She
to make
didn't say
me useful."
anything wrong
The next
there, though.
section is
Like, why
titled,
would you,
"Oh
why do you
dear."
include
Pretty
that?
much
Like, what?
immediately she was flirting with me despite, as you can see here, having a boyfriend and both of us knowing she had a boyfriend, including regularly talking shit
But
about him
is
to
she-
me while telling me how great
From
it would
what
be
I
if
know,
were to
you aren't in these
replace
kinds
him.
of drama.
What the hell? He
I'm not.
continues,
I've
"I
never
understand
been in
I'm
a
no angel in
controversy,
this myself, but
'cause
hey,
I
at least
don't-
I can
I-
be honest about it." Oh my
Like,
god.
why?
Anyway,
Like,
here are the DMs.
you have
It
to
starts
be
off with Rain
chronically
saying this-
online to get into this shit. I'm not lying. Like, what do you mean you're flirting with someone online? The fuck? How do you know they're not like an ugly Discord moderator? What the fuck? Like, what? Like, what? First of all, I don't do that. Imagine Ash getting canceled. That would be crazy. No, I'd probably double down. I'm not gonna lie. No, but honestly, like like what? No, but like, first of all, I can't I can't even do that because I don't want to get in somebody in trouble. Like I'm well aware that like people interacting with minors can get them canceled just for that. So I'm just not gonna play that game. Like, that's dumb. Why would I get somebody else in trouble like that? Like, what the fuck? Like, just using my little common sense, my little brain. I'll be like, yeah, no, you triple down. That's crazy.
Besides, you said it's
No,
hard
but real
when
though.
your boyfriend is far, far away.
I
I'm
feel
not
like
your
the only
boyfriend,
thing that I
am
could
To
probably
which
get in
Tashi says,
trouble
"No,
for is saying
but how
retarded,
nice
but I'm
that
also
would be.
autistic, so
Your
like,
perfect boyfriend material.
and I also don't
heart."
fucking care if somebody who's not says it.
Okay.
Like, I think
Rain
it's such
then
a dumb fucking
continues,
thing.
"Oh ho, so you want to go
I'm
at
gonna
it
get
behind his
canceled for
back,
that
how
one.
sneaky." And
But
then
you
she
know what I
says,
mean? I
"Hi,
don't
honey.
care.
I've been talking to this guy about how badly I want him to fuck me since he wanted to buy a flashlight instead
What?
of giving me any attention when I'm needy." What?
Huh?
Right, that says, "Fucking oof, dude. Literally, why would you even need a flashlight when you have a girlfriend?"
What?
And then Tashi/Cinder replies with, "He sent
What
me a
the fuck?
screenshot a couple weeks ago.
Nah,
telling
they're
me he was
freaks.
getting
What the
one
fuck?
And had the nerve to use it in front of me to show me how great it was. Wow, yeah, must be great." Rain then says, "Yo, what the fuck? That's like me inviting you to a chatterbait room so you can watch me fuck someone else in all the ways I said I want to fuck you." To which she replies
What
with,
the
"Isn't that
fuck?
great?" Rain then says, "I'm very slowly not feeling as bad for him about all this, because it did honestly leave a bit of a bad taste in my mouth that all this was happening while you were taken."
I got
but
hit
then,
by
yeah,
a
that's
double
a bit,
whammy of both
Did you
ADHD
tell
and
him that was
autism,
fucked
and
up
this is what I
hurtful to
hear.
you? She then replies with, "He asked
What?
me if
I
I was
don't know,
okay
dude.
with it, and after I
I don't
explained how
know.
I
I
felt,
don't
he
know.
told me it was too late to do anything about it
What the
because it
fuck
shipped,
is
and
this
he
shit?
kept it." Rain then says, "I mean, far be it from me to give you advice.
Oh
It's
my
your
God.
relationship, and the
What
only
the
ones who can decide
fuck?
what is and isn't
What?
okay is you two. But that just sounds really sketchy to me. And why did he ask if you're okay with it after he bought it?" Well, all I'm going to say on this
Huh?
is, two wrongs don't make a right. As much as I enjoy the second thing, it's really not right if you still want to be with him. I would either try to reconcile with him and get what you need out of the relationship and step back from me a bit, or maybe
What
consider taking
the
a break.
what
And
the
I know
fuck?
that last part sounds fucked coming from me, but I swear on my life, I'm not being scummy about it. That's
What
really
for
my
C do you
opinion.
have me
She then
watching?
replies,
I
"I've just
don't
been really stressed about
know.
everything."
So Tashi is having online sex with this guy Rain. I don't know. Apparently, they're having an online relationship while she has a boyfriend, and it's cheating. So she's technically cheating on him. This dude's like, "Hey, if you still like him, take a step back from me. We're not gonna, we probably shouldn't be doing this." And she's like, "Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. I like him more." What the fuck does online sex work? What? I don't know, dude. I don't know. Like, I genuinely have no fucking clue. This is actually wild. This is fucking crazy. What the fuck? What the fuck am I watching? What? This is like chronically online to the max. To be honest, I wish I don't wish to know. Like, I don't want to know. I'm not gonna look this shit up. if you want to see that, you look it up on your own, because I don't. I'm good on that one, dude. This like has to be the most chronically online shit I've ever seen in my entire fucking life. Like how do you even get in an online relationship with someone like this? Like what? You know what? I'm gonna search then share. No, please don't. I'm good with that, dude.
And talking to you makes me feel so much better. I don't want to lose what we have, but I'm such an awful person, I don't deserve it anyway. Rain then says, I don't believe you're an awful person.
Rain
I believe
also
that you're
was
stressed,
cheating.
You're emotional, and you're
First
looking
of all.
for something to
Second
make
of
it
all,
better, which happens
this
to be
isn't
me
any
when
of
he
our
wasn't helping.
business.
Listen, take a
I
break
would
from
rather
what we
go
have
the rest of
just
my
for a
life
little bit
without
and see
hearing
if
about
we can get
this.
something out of him
What
first.
the fuck?
You can't really have both
What-
of us. Plus, it
what
wouldn't
the
be very
fuck am I
fulfilling for me
watching
to
right
just be the
now?
other guy in this scenario and not get the full
Please
relationship experience
stop
myself.
right
You can
now.
do it,
Please
sweetie. I
stop.
believe you can, truly. She then says, I'm so sorry. I don't know what I'd do without you. To which he says,
Interesting.
I'm not saying to
I
stop
don't
talking to
even
me
wanna know.
completely.
Don't-
I'll still
please
be
don't
right here
share.
to support you, whichever decision you end up
Okay,
making.
you're back.
And then she
Hi.
says, I love you so much. I don't know how to thank you. Bro, this
What?
is so weird. This is so weird, man.
Are you sure? Yeah, I'm
Look,
sure. I'm
convinced
sure. I'm
this
good.
is
I
some
don't want.
weird,
I
like,
don't want to know.
role-play fantasy she has. She
Yeah,
knew that
this-
Rain felt really weird about this, knowing
yeah,
that she
this
had a
kind of
boyfriend,
supports
so
my
she
theory
was
that she's
making up
insecure,
this
though.
story to make him feel less guilty about
This
cheating.
seems like very
That's just my
insecure.
theory, right? But I just find her
I'm double
story
sure.
so
I'm
unbelievable
triple
that
sure.
it just
I
can't
don't
be
wanna
true.
know.
Rain then continues in the document saying, despite what was evidently nothing serious for her and just a means of keeping herself occupied, she felt the need to keep stringing me
Quite
along
sure.
with proclamations of real love, which again, I was silly to have believed in the first place, but still. And it's a screenshot of her saying, regardless, I'm always
This
going
just
to love
seems
you.
like
He
really
then continues
dumb.
in the document, for obvious reasons. I won't share
Are
any
all
of
of
the
these people,
explicit
like,
sex thing, not just because of the
teenagers or
NSFW nature
something?
of it, but also I just don't think it
This
helps.
seems, like,
However,
so
note that all
immature
this went
and
on for
dumb.
several months and included more than just text, as both the date and the contents of the following screenshots prove. This was in September
Ew.
of 2020, so months since the last DMs we saw, and it features
Ew.
Rain saying, I mean, it
What
looked
the
like
fuck?
something was going
This
down
did
there
not
either
ever
way.
need to
And
see
then
the light
Tashi
of day.
replies with, it's called
This
finger.
had nothing to do
Dear.
with the original
Oh my God.
document.
The document
This
then
has-
continues. One
this-
reason
there's
I
no
felt
reason
it
I should
important
be
to share
seeing
these
this
details
right
in
now.
particular is because I never found out if Red got told about what happened, especially not in full lucidity.
What the
primary
fuck?
reason I've held on to all this for so
What-
long was an
what-
itching feeling
what
that
the
Redacted
fuck?
never fully knew and that always felt like it would be unnecessary drama, so I left it
I
alone.
can't do
but
it
now seems
anymore.
as good a time as any. Redacted, if you're reading
think
this,
I
I'm
need to-
sorry for all that
I'm gonna
happened
just
back
die.
then. I
I'm just
really
gonna-
am, but
I
given
think
the
my
actions
brain
you
is
two have taken
finally-
together regarding other
finally
VTubers,
done.
I still think you're
I think-
perfect for
I think it's
each
just
other
gonna
regardless.
spontaneously
The last
combust.
section of
I
this
kind of
document
wish
is
that
the
tornado
end.
hit my
After
house
Cinder
now.
got done
I-
using me for
I
fleeting
think-
sexual
I think it's
gratification,
time for
our
me to just
conversation
die.
slowed down, exacerbated by the
What
Cinder
is
character
this?
coming into
What is
fruition and
this?
finding immediate success. I had stopped making content for a decent length of time by then, and thus she no longer
can't do
felt
it
she could
anymore.
ladder
I
climb
can't
from
do
me.
it
Here we
anymore.
can see this was a conversation mid-2021 with
Oh
Tashi saying,
my
hey,
God.
hey, what was your exam for? I haven't been on this Discord account super often, so I missed a bit. And Rain said she made a new group chat without
What the
me. I
fuck?
kid, but yeah, they were the
What
entrance
is this?
exams for the
None
uni
of this
college.
has anything
Tashi
to
said,
do with the
nice, congrats on
document.
passing them. I've just been
None
on the
of this
VTuber
has
side of
anything
things
to do
working
with the
commissions and
VTuber
whatnot. And then Rain
situation.
said,
This
what?
is all
And Cinder doesn't want to
just-
be my friend? Only Tashi does? To which she replied with, it's
I
just
don't
easier
know.
not
I
having
don't
multiple
even know.
ongoing conversations.
What the fuck?
Rain
Why
continues in
would
the
you feel
document
the
saying,
need to
until
share
eventually she
this
stopped using that account
online?
altogether and committed fully to Cinder, and I
Why
never heard from her
would you
again.
ever
Something I
send
was
this to
uncannily aware would
anyone?
happen even back
This-
then. These are
does
DMs
this
from around the
even
same time in
count as
2021
revenge
with Rain
porn?
saying,
I
I'll
feel
message you
like
at
it
this time in
does.
2022
This
and you won't
feels-
even remember
I
who I
feel
am. To which Tashi
violated.
said,
What
I'd
the
never
fuck am I
forget you.
reading
Rain
right
then
now?
continues the document and says, and that's
what
pretty
the
much it.
fuck?
This isn't meant to be a witch
What-
hunt. We all
what-
make
what
mistakes,
the
including
actual
me, as I've shown in the same
fucking
document, but it felt like a good
Chrysler
time to get off
happening
my
right
chest
now?
things that I've been on it for half a
Oh
decade now,
my
and to
God.
finally get some closure,
Ash,
even though I
I
know
thought-
how bad
I
I look
really
alongside
hope
her.
you
She's an
don't do
opportunist
Talia.
whenever she can find a
Don't
way
do
to be,
this.
and she does not
No,
care what happens to the
I don't
people
think
she
I ever will
springboards
do
off
this, 'cause
from.
I
can only hope
have
she
a
takes
life
this as an opportunity to change
outside
and grow
of-
as a person. And I'm just gonna
outside of
throw
social
this one in the
media.
end because it's kind
I-
of funny for me to see in
I
retrospect.
do
Okay, thanks
sports
for reading. And it's a
and,
message from Tasha in 2020
what
saying,
the
don't
fuck
forget about me when
what
you
am
become
I-
a big
what the
popular
fuck?
YouTuber. You know
Dude.
what? I didn't read this
Dude.
document until I started
Dude, what
recording,
the
and yeah,
fuck?
this caught me by surprise. Wow. You know, I wish Rain had shown this a long time ago so people would have known, okay, this person's kind of weird. And maybe Bao and
no,
Nana wouldn't have
this-
been backstabbed
this
so
needed to
goddamn
stay
hard.
in the
But it does
recesses
leave a
of
bad taste in my mouth
Rain's
in regards to Rain as well. Releasing
Discord,
this information
whatever.
now does
This
seem
never needed to
opportunistic
see the day
because
light
it
of
seems like
day.
it's cool to hate on
What the-
Cinder.
what the
In
fuck?
other words, he was backstabbing her the
sports
same exact
stream,
way she was
you are down.
backstabbing others
I
right
do
now.
do
But
sports. I do
speaking of
archery.
backstabbing, we
I
were slowly
do
but surely
air rifle,
uncovering
or I
the
did
other
air rifle.
people
Air
that
rifle got
Cinder had
canceled at my school, but I'm
backstabbed
doing
because
rifle next year.
documents kept coming out.
I used to do
Spite,
basketball,
another
and
big
I used to do
independent
cheer.
VTuber, posted this on Twitter, quote tweeting
I did cheer up until
my
like
experience with Cinder
a few days ago because I quit because I could not afford to buy 3 different fucking uniforms. Like, are you kidding me right now?
Pieces of the puzzle. There are 2 more VTubers that were backstabbed by Cinder that were censored in Nano's original document. So which one is Spite? Well, let's read the document. It starts off by saying, I want to start by saying, please do not say
Why
any
is she
hate
like
to
the
anyone
default
involved in this.
for most
I only wish
girls?
to speak
Because
about my
it
experiences
helps
and give
like
more
you
clarity
learn
on
to
those
like
experiences.
socialize. You know
First
what I mean?
and foremost, my love and admiration
I have
goes
like
out to Nautilus for
I have
having
a
the
speech
courage to bring
impediment. I
this to
hiss all
light.
my S's
Artists
if you
are the
haven't
backbone
noticed.
of our community, and taking advantage
And
of her
I have a
goodwill
stutter.
personality is saddening to see.
So,
I want to take the time to address what
like
has been
that,
brought
it
to
kind
light
of it
involving
just
myself
helped me
and what I've
learn how to like
experienced over the
speak
years
better.
that
You know what I mean?
coincide with these events. In this screenshot, the VTuber that is being talked about is very clearly me. Since the beginning of my VTuber journey, it has been written in my backstory and lore that I'm the daughter of Cerberus, and through an unforeseen summoning mishap, the Greek
Okay.
goddess Hecate. As many may know, Cerberus is a species of hellhound, and I've always incorporated the number 3 in my
Alright, so
designs
this is just
to follow the
this
3
girl
heads of Cerberus in my early design, and when artists
explaining
were still
her
learning
point of
new
view.
models / rigging techniques, I had opted for 2 other wolf heads on my
And
shoulders
all I have to
as
say to whoever
cauldrons
this
to
VTuber
symbolically
is
represent
that
my 2
released
other
this
heads.
document that
However,
we're
the
on
repeated
right now,
comments of, if you're a Cerberus, where are your other 2 heads, had
this
pushed me
has
to
like
use the
the
broader term
stuff that
hellhound at the
Redacted said,
time. Fast
Redacted
forward
and
to
Cinder said
months
has
to a
nothing to do
year
with
into
you.
my
I
journey,
feel like
and
it's
I
just
started to
because they're
receive
insecure.
harassment and berating comments and
that's
chat
it.
messages on Twitch and YouTube videos comparing me
Okay,
to
so
Cinder
how does this
and putting me
connect?
down for being a
So
hellhound,
basically, hold
making
on.
the
Okay.
definitive
So
switch.
this girl, Cerberus, is the one that they were saying was like obsessed with Cinder and was trying to like take her brand as like the wolf dog VTuber, whatever. Or the fire wolf dog, whatever, I don't know. And and this girl like explaining, hey, yeah, no, I didn't do this. I've always been like the daughter of Cerberus or whatever. And I guess so she's explaining her point of view, but I feel like she didn't really need to do a document because honestly, on Cinder and Redacted, I feel like it's just because they're insecure. I feel like what they said doesn't actually have anything to do with like your lore or anything. It's just because they're insecure. They're very self-centered, like they're very self-centered. And I'm like, that doesn't I'm not saying that's like necessarily like, hey, they're horrible people, but like they're very self-centered, so they can't really see that, you know, hey, just go read this girl's lore. It's probably been this the entire fucking time. Ash, let's see how dirty-minded you are. What's brown and sticky? I don't know. The whole situation for me, at least, is like a stick. Oh, that's cool. No, the whole situation for me, at least, is like the Fernando Alonso stare after the 2012 Brazilian Grand Prix. I'm really sorry. I'm an ignorant American, so I have zero idea what that is. If you want to explain it, go for it. It probably is exactly like it, because this entire situation just seems really like really like insecure high school fucking drama. Like, what the fuck?
To the Cerberus label brought me a sense of relief because the last thing I wanted was
children.
to be constantly
Yeah,
compared
they
or
seem like
harassed at
fucking
this
children.
point.
Like, what
I
is
didn't
going
want to
on
be
here?
associated with her due to all the negativity that was being thrown my way. Then she links one of the screenshots that were included in Nano's document, in which Redacted claims that Spite unfollowed Cinder on Twitter, and this is what she has to say about it. As for the claims of unfollowing her and taking her ideas, I debuted my 2.0 Live 2D model May 14th, 2022, and on that same day, she decided to post her debut announcement for her 1.0 Live 2D model. Leading up to this time, I didn't know who Cinder was at all. I had no idea she had fire in her ears, or she was another hellhound. The creator space is broad, and I still stumble across creators larger than myself.
This doesn't have anything to do with you. She's just insecure.
All I ever want is to try to be unique in my own way. So these
like, and I'm
claims
not
that
saying that like that
her
means
and
she's
then
horrible,
unfollowing and
or
stealing
like
her
that means
ideas
she's
are
like
absolutely
a
baseless and
bad
uncalled
person.
for.
I'm
This
just
is a
saying
screenshot
like
that shows
she's
that Spite
insecure.
was doing her
That's why
2.0 debut on May
that's like
3rd,
the psychological
2022,
trait I'm
and
picking
11
up in all of
days
her
later,
actions right
Cinder
now.
was barely
And if people
revealing
could just use
her
their fucking
first
context,
model. She
like
had not even
context
done her
clues, I'm pretty sure
debut
they could
yet.
make that same
Spite continues
conclusion.
in the document, saying her posting her debut announcement trailer the same day as my 2.0 debut seemed off.
So
but I shrugged it off as a
Spite
coincidence
and
because
Bao
things
seem like the ones
happened.
that are
However, this
innocent
wasn't the last time
currently.
something like this had happened. There
Currently,
have been
they seem
multiple
innocent.
times where I have done
Nano
something and
does
either
not
the
seem
same
innocent
day or
at all.
shortly
I don't
after
know
was
why
made
people are
aware or
defending
had
her. Like,
discovered
what the
later
fuck?
that something similar had been posted, making me feel like
Spite
I was being
and
watched
Red are
constantly.
obviously
I
not
tried my
innocent.
best to
Like, what
believe
are
that it
we
was
talking about here right now?
coincidental
But
and
like,
not ill
seriously.
intent on their part. There were many times where I designed a new outfit that I was really excited for, but afterwards, Cinder would release outfits or models with similarities to it. I didn't think much of it at first because it is normal to have some similarities or shared inspirations with other creators. The VTuber community is a huge space and similarities
Okay,
are
now
normal.
it feels
I'm not
like
speaking to
Spite
whether my
might
designs were
also be
taken as
getting a little like because, well, I'm gonna go lurk good luck losing your mind. Okay, you have fun with that one. No, but I feel like the main reason that basically Fernando Alonso, how to pronounce his last name, Alonso. Okay, that's cool. Was fighting for drivers' championship, but Sebastian Vettel got the championship, and after the race, Fernando gave a stare of like full of disappointment. I did use the image on how I felt on the situation overall because like why? No, that actually kind of makes sense. Like no, that I could see how that would be that could like describe the situation. I mean that kind of is what is going on right now because like what is her fucking name? Why am I forgetting her name right now? Cinder, she's competing with all these people and she's interpreting everybody else as though they're staring with like disappointment at her, but nobody actually is. You know what I mean? It's cuz she's insecure. And I'm not like I feel really mean when I'm saying that she's insecure, but that is legitimately what seems to be the cause of this.
Hers, I'm addressing the need
and
for the
it feels like it's spreading to spite now
the
because
now
she's saying,
that I was
oh,
not
I
stealing
feel like
ideas.
Cinder might
How
be
can I
copying
copy
my
something
ideas.
that was released/teased/revealed after my own? On July 20th, 2022, Maui Live, my model mama, and I worked on a comfy goth girl outfit. I had rips in my shirt, a G-string, shorts, and spiked wrist cuffs. 2 weeks after, Cinder debuted a similar outfit. I included the earliest image that I could find of Cinder with this outfit. I received many negative comments about my design from people assuming that I copied her when I debuted it
This is
2
dumb.
weeks before
Like,
hers.
what are we talking
I got
about?
called off-brand
This
Cinder
is
and just a
dumb.
bunch of horrible things. So these are DMs with
this
her
is-
artist saying,
I don't
"Sounds
understand
great, I'm
people
so
who are like,
happy
oh,
with
you
it." On
copied this
July
so-and-so's
20th,
design.
2022, showing that she was
Be
working
so
on
for
this
real
outfit
right
way
now.
before the tweet that
These-
Cinder
these
made
look
on
like
September
nothing.
14th, 2022.
Like they do
asking,
look
"What do you think
like
of my new
I'll give you
outfit
that,
looks
but like
very similar." Spike
this
then
is like
continues
such
in
a
her document
basic
saying, "I
like
discovered
biker
this
girl. I feel like
merchandise
I
that
have
she used
this
for
like
Uwu
same
Market and had to
outfit
do a double take
in my
because of the
closet right
great blue
now.
skin tone used
Like
in
what
the
are we
art."
talking about right
Several
now?
people thought it was me, and the similarities for this speak for themselves, I feel.
Okay,
so this is the
dude,
design
chill out.
itself, and yeah, I mean they do look pretty damn similar, not gonna lie. She continues, "On April 29th, 2024, I designed a Greek goddess outfit on stream. I am a Cerberus VTuber,
Greek
so it
goddess.
fits my lore completely. I mentioned that I may or may not get a future Greek goddess outfit because it fits my branding. About 4 months ago, Cinder debuted a Heaven Okami-inspired outfit. It was
What
white
is
and gold,
again? I
resembling
don't
a
know
Greek
who any of
goddess.
these
In the
VTubers
background for
before any of
debut,
this,
she
so I don't
also
know what the
included
fuck
Greek
this
columns. At
what
this
Heaven
point, I felt
Okami
like
outfit
nothing I
is,
could
so I
come up
can't
with
tell
would
you
be even
anything
slightly original to me.
about
I'm
if
aware
they
that
are
nothing
if
is
they do
completely
look
original,
similar or not.
but I
So
still
I don't
wanted
know.
my own identity. So here's the outfit that she drew on her stream, and then here is the debut stream with the new outfit that Cinder came up with. She then continues, "On April 20th, 2024, I debuted
mean, I
a new
can
model
guess
for my model mama,
that they might look a little bit
I got a
similar, but
hoodie
they
with a
really
cute design on top, and I had
don't
side bangs
look
covering my eyes.
like they don't
On April
look
4th,
like copying or
2025,
anything.
so a year later, Cinder debuted a sports hoodie with side bangs covering her eyes similar to mine." Is this a coincidence, or is it truly her trying to copy everything she's doing? I don't know. I'll let you decide.
I don't feel like
She
it's
then
copying
continues,
though.
"There are
Like,
some instances that I
maybe
do
it
not
is,
have
I don't know.
screenshots of. For example, I
I
remember
feel like
posting
this,
about my first
they
ASMR
have
stream.
similar
The day
ideas.
that I was supposed
They
to
have
do
similar
said stream,
styles.
Cinder
So
plugged
the
her
fuck what?
ASMR
So
channel.
what? Who
I thought it was a
fucking
bit
cares?
suspect, but brushed it off. I don't have any
Get off,
screenshots
like,
of the
if you
comments and bullying that I
genuinely
received from her community.
Or
There
like
were
you
too
if you
many that it became too much to
genuinely
keep track
are
of
like
and
like
just
oh I'm
started
gonna
ignoring
copy
them
this,
because
I'm
I
gonna copy
never
this
wanted
so
to see
hard.
images of their words that hurt
Get the
me.
fuck
I didn't even want to
offline.
read the
Go
harassing
touch
comments in the
grass,
first
please.
place. I
Like,
just
what
wanted to be left
what
alone
the
and be
fuck?
happy in my own space. I
Like,
received a
dude,
DM on
chill the
January
fuck out.
25th, 2023. I will not disclose who the sender was without their consent. The sender expressed to me that they were getting bullied by Cinder and certain members of Cinder's community because she too had fire in her ears. I never responded to the DM
But that's
because
just
I wanted
that's
to
just
stay away
basic
from drama as much
VTuber
as
shit.
possible. Here's what the DM said.
That's basic
"Hey,
VTuber
you
shit.
popped in my feed
People
and
are
can't just
always
say,
gonna
I
be
love
like,
your
oh,
design."
you're
I had a
copying so
rather
and so
odd question,
because
I
they're like 20
suppose.
times
Have you had
popular.
any
Like
messages
I
from
saw
the
this one
VTuber
girl
Snider
getting like, oh,
regarding
you're
your
Shy
design?
Lily.
This may seem out of nowhere, but I'm only
knockoff.
asking because
Tell
I
me
had
why
made
this girl
an
looked
original
nothing like
character,
her.
a while back, and
She
I
looked
was
nothing
accused
like
by
her.
and
The only
others
thing,
of
the only
stealing her
similarity was
design
that she was a
because
shark
my dog girl
VTuber.
had flames in the ears,
Isn't Shy
and
Lily a
her and her
fucking whale?
fans claimed that was
Oh my God,
exclusive
bro,
to her
I can't.
design.
I can't
It was
with
this
this
whole
fucking
big
community
ordeal on
anymore.
Twitter, so I wondered
You're
if
all
anything
like,
similar
we're all
had
fucking
happened to you
stupid.
yet. I
Like,
would
oh
like to
my God, bro.
clarify, I myself am not saying your design looks like hers. I
Okay.
was scrolling, sorry, totally awesome design. When I saw the flames
Bro,
near
what the
slash
fuck?
in the ears, I had flashbacks and thought to myself, oh no. So I guess this is just my curiosity getting the best of me. Spite continues in her document saying, I'm just very
Bro, what?
saddened and disappointed
Okay, but
in
that
this situation.
that doesn't
I
seem
had
like
my
it's Spite's
suspicions
fault
about this,
though.
but I've never wanted
Like,
to be a part of drama, so I kept
Cinder's
quiet.
fault
I've
or
also seen
whatever.
what
That just
happens when
seems
a
like
creator
it's
stands up for
fucking
themselves and receives major backlash,
VTube
even if they're in
communities
the right.
being
So I've never
fucking
vocalized
trash
my
like
concerns.
always. Like, what
I've
are we
always
talking about?
designed my own models. I've gotten inspiration from Cerberus
I
with the
can't.
chains and spikes, Disney's Hades, ladies. And because I call myself Goth Girlfriend, I was inspired by Sam and Ember from Danny Phantom, plus many other of our
Danny
goth
Phantom
crushes
is
that
crazy.
we've had growing up. I just focused on myself and
can't.
my friends.
What are we
Meanwhile,
talking about
I had
here?
eyes on me the whole time. Knowing that I was being watched and talked poorly about really
Bro,
hurts,
did this
especially
need a
when they
doc,
never
though?
attempted to interact
Did this
with
need
me.
a doc?
I did my best to
I
go
don't know.
through and find what I could and
You
get
couldn't have just
appropriate
made, like, a
screenshots. It's crazy
a
because I didn't know
2-second
who Cinder was
tweet
until she
being like,
debuted
"Hey,
her life too
by the
deep. I
way,
just wanted to exist peacefully as a
I
VTuber
didn't
and spend my time
copy her,
drama-free. I woke up
and
this
she
morning
kinda
in shock.
sucks.
It's terrifying and
Fuck
hurtful
off.
to know that someone
Like-
could attempt
like-
to blacklist me when I've never even
Why
spoken
are
to
we-
them. I hope going forward
Be so
that
for real.
no
Why
one
are we
else has to
releasing
experience
full-on
anything like
docs
this.
about
Thank
dumb
you
shit
guys
like
for being
this?
supportive towards me. I love this community
what
so
is
much.
going on
Please
right
go and
now?
give love and support
I
to all
can't.
those who have
Dude,
unfortunately
this is
been
giving
involved
me a
in this
headache. Like,
situation.
what are we
Please
talking
support
about
Nanolis,
here?
who was
How
very
much
brave
longer
enough to
is this
speak
shit?
up, and the
The
VTubers who were
fuck? How
affected.
do we have
Please support
51
my
minutes?
first model mama, the wonderful.
Dude, what the fuck? Okay. No. Silvervale. What the fuck? Oh, I saw her about her a psychopath's apology. Honestly, we could have just skipped that entire thing because that thing was dumb.
I shouldn't have to
That
say
shit
this,
was
but
dumb.
me putting out this statement is not a call for or an excuse for anyone to turn the situation
Bro,
into
what?
a witch hunt. My intention for
Okay,
making
you
the
say
statement
that,
is
but then you're
strictly to
also
give myself
releasing a
closure
full
from the
doc.
events of the past years and
Like,
clarify
chill
how
out.
I have been personally affected. I debated if I wanted to even say anything after being asked if I wanted my name
Like-
in the original
like,
document
we're-
censored,
come
as the
on, you
situation
guys are
is much
grown.
bigger
You know
than
how
just
this
my
is- how
personal
people are gonna react to
experience.
this,
However,
especially when
after
there's
finding
already
out how
fucking
wide
witch
and
hunt going
extensive
on.
the transgressions were, I feel the need to give clarity to my situation
Honestly,
and how I
if
was
they
personally
if they really couldn't just like call her, just stop talking to her. If like most of her deals and stuff actually comes from like, you know, engaging with like the like bigger VTubers, just stop talking to her, blacklist her or something. And then, you know, like people will like, didn't the same thing happen with like Vox Akuma? I don't know. I don't keep up with that either. But didn't like, I remember because I watched Shoto's FNAF stream because I was trying to get into him because my friend Jackie at the time was watching him and I was like, hey, you know what? I'll give it a try. I didn't actually like. I don't like whimpering in my ear. Thank you very much. So I couldn't stand him. But that I'm getting off topic. But this dude, he said something about Akuma because people were kept asking about him, and then he was like, you know what? Maybe I'm not talking about him anymore. Blah 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 blah. Whatever. Because didn't Vox do something with HoloLive? And so they just stopped. So he just stopped talking about him, and you know, people obviously were like, "Hey, did something happen?" That's kind of how you do that. Like once you stop talking about someone, people will kind of get the, "Hey, isn't it weird that all of these YouTubers are not talking to her anymore?" Like I promise you, people are smarter than you think that they
The majority
are.
of the messages are from Redacted, who is Cinder's manager. I find it impossible that he acted solely on his own intentions without Cinder's knowledge or consent, given the extent to which he has represented her publicly
what the
and
fuck?
professionally. The next section is titled Nano.
I
and
kind of hate
VTubers
that they're
1, in
doing
which
this
we
a little
see many
bit.
messages that were already
kinda hate
included
that
in
they're
Nano's
like,
document, where Redacted was
Cinder
trying to
and
convince
Red
Nano
are
to
the
go
same
exclusive
person.
and not work with
Because
specific
if you like
VTubers.
psychologically,
As you can see, this is the
it
message
seems
where he
like
says you don't work with
Red
bio, cotton,
seems
or
very
silver
very
at
self
all
like
again,
like
models or art. And then Nano
why
says,
aren't you doing this?
Is there
Why aren't you
any way
making
to add
time
a
for
little bit
me? There
more
obviously
since
must be
Silver
something
still
on for
asks
you.
for art every now
And then
then? To
Cinder
which
seems
Redacted
very
says,
insecure,
we could
and
do
she's
it
like,
when
"Oh my god,
Silver asks for art,
what the blah
you
blah
tell
blah
her
blah
no,
blah.
and then tell
Something must be
us
happening
to buy
because
another
what the fuck
art
blah blah
piece,
blah blah
like
blah.
so you still get a
Whatever.
job from it. So they
I'm
wanted
sorry,
to
I've said this like
blacklist
20
Silver
times.
so
This
hard
video
that
is
if Silver
dragging.
were to
This video
ask
is
for any
dragging so
commissions,
hard. Like, what the fuck?
Redacted and Cinder were willing to pay money to Nano so that she doesn't take the job. We also get more
Yeah.
clarity, right? The model that Redacted was talking about was Silver's model. The DMs between Nano and Cinder also reveal to us much more now that Silver's name has been uncensored. Here we can see Nano saying, just wanted to let you know I still love working with you in Red, but I'll understand if things don't work out because of Silver. I just love my clients.
What?
That's all. That was in February 2025, barely 2 months ago. So this person that
Okay,
Cinder was saying, I
so
just get compared to
again,
her a
this
lot
is what
even
I'm
still
talking
today,
about
was
with Cinder being
Silver. And
insecure.
Silver had no idea this was
'Cause
happening
she's worried
behind
about
her
being
back.
compared to Silver.
Silver then continues in her document saying,
It just
I am
doesn't seem like it
VTuber1
has
with the
anything
screenshots
actually
provided
to
by
do with
Nano
Silver
in her
and more
document.
just
I've been
Cinder
a
is
friend and client
insecure.
of Nano for years, and seeing how she was manipulated and
Although-
abused by Cinder and Red makes me
Actually, Silver's like the pink one, right? I saw her on Twitter. She's like, I'll adopt all of the whatever the fuck Cinder calls her community. I can't remember. Something about puppies. Well, I'll adopt them. And then she kept bringing Cinder up. Like she personally kept being like, kept bringing her up. So I don't know how genuine this is. I'm not gonna lie.
Livid.
But
She's
we're
an
just
absolute sweetheart
but
and
again,
just wants
I
her
don't know
clients to
anything
be
about these
happy. It
VTubers. I
breaks
have
my
not
heart
watched a
to see
single
how
one
she
of their
was treated
streams.
like
So
a
I
tool
cannot,
and a
I
resource to
can't
be
say
used for
anything.
growth,
I'm sorry.
rather than a talented living person and gaslit into somehow believing that how she was being treated was okay. I am so proud of Nano for having the courage to come forward to the
She's
affected
using,
people with all of
bro.
this and
I
to let
don't,
everyone know
I don't
how
like
they
this
were being
Nano person, bro.
unknowingly sabotaged.
Because she,
I've spoken
first of
to
all,
her
she used her,
privately
she
and want to be
weaponized her
clear that I have
disability,
no ill will or hard
and
feelings
she's
towards
using
Nano
being
for her
manipulated as
involvement
an
in this.
excuse for
I
her
urge
also
people reading this
participating
to
in
try and understand
shit
the
talking other
emotional
people.
manipulation on display and empathize with her situation. There is a lot I could say about how disgusting I find their behavior towards other creators in general, but I want to focus on my personal experiences. The next section gets
Bro, what
real,
are we
and it's
talking about
titled
here?
Cinder and I, and this is where she goes into the very weird relationship she had with Cinder and really revealed the depth of the backstabbing. She starts off by saying, discovering that all of this was going on behind the scenes has been gut-wrenching. I didn't know Cinder, we weren't friends, and we have barely talked. Even writing
Okay,
this, I do not
that's
understand.
all right. That's it. I'm done. She just said, I didn't know her. We barely talked. I don't know anything. Then that's all that needed to be. That could have been like,
What I could have possibly done to warrant the level of malice and cruelty shown. In our private interactions, I was as cordial as possible,
Yeah,
but I
okay.
just wasn't interested in associating with her professionally or
then
with all
that's
these
it.
different
She just admitted that she barely talked to her. Like, what are we talking about here? There's no reason that fucking segment of the video should have been, how long was it? Almost 20 fucking minutes if she had nothing to do with her. Like, what? Like, okay, dude.
documents.
Y'all
and
are pissed.
everyone
Y'all try not to
understanding
piss
the
me
real
off,
nature of
please.
who Cinder was, her career was effectively burning
God.
to cinders.
They're dragging it. They're
Sorry
dragging it.
about
That's
that.
pissing me
People
off.
were very patiently waiting for a
like,
more complete
obviously
statement.
Cinder's in
So
the wrong.
after losing
Obviously,
over 10,000
no shit.
followers and waiting
But this
more than
all seems
24
very
hours,
fucking
she
immature.
finally
Like, I'm
just
not gonna
published it
lie.
6
I'm not gonna sit here and lie
minutes
about it.
ago.
Like, what the fuck are we talking about here right now?
apology. Let's see if this can actually save her career. Cinder starts off by saying,
Obviously
there's
not.
nothing I can say to
Like,
make
the
this better,
fuck?
but I will try my best to properly convey my feelings, frustrations,
Why
and
would you use your
mistakes.
apology
I'd
in a
like to
doc?
explain my point
Like, are
of
you
view
dumb?
and apologize to each party
You have to
affected.
that should
Redacted has
like
been
go
my
live,
co-content creator
explain
since I began
yourself,
making content,
maybe
managing
see if
all
anybody's
aspects of
willing
what
to
I
go
do, and
online
being a
with
major
you,
part of
talk
why I'm
to you,
here.
maybe
We have
sort this
also
all
been
out
in a
together.
relationship since the start of my endeavors.
Or
It's
don't
no
release
secret that
anything
many
and then call each
VTubers
other
choose to keep
privately.
their public and personal life separate,
Oh my
and
God.
I'm no different.
This
As
is a
of yesterday,
revolutionary
he is
idea,
no
people.
longer working with me, and I have not extensively discussed any of this with him. Where our personal situation goes from here will be figured out between us privately. I never
Bro,
intended to
what?
mention us publicly, but given that the claims are out there, I want everyone to know I'm taking this seriously. After years of working on everything together, his hyper business-oriented outlook warped my view of what it is I should be doing, and
Okay,
what
what?
should be important to me
Please
as I
don't
navigate this
fucking
career path. I have a
spam
terrible work-life balance as it is,
random
and being
websites
on
in my-
projects and
my
streams all
comments,
day every day
please.
made me lose sight of the point. It took all of this happening for
Now
me to realize
she
this
is blaming
behavior
it all
isn't
on
normal
Red.
or healthy, and it's not an outlook I want to have. This doesn't absolve me of the things I've willingly done wrong
Now,
and went
she's
along
not
with,
blaming
or
it
the
on
way I've
Red.
treated people who were fully undeserving. Guys, right off the bat, it's not looking good. Okay, this is
Hold on,
this
Mujin.
is
Shut the
not
fuck
gonna
up.
change.
Shut up. Shut the fuck up, dude. I love you. You're the goat. I literally cannot read docs, so can't go without you. But like, hold on. Pause, people. She just said, "Hey, that's also my fault. My bad too." Like what? Like she said, "Yeah, she's doing the same thing Nana was doing, where she's like, "Oh yeah, I got manipulated." So we either have to be like, we either have to like be like, fuck both of them, fuck Nano and fuck whatever her face is, Cinder, or give them both a slap on the wrist and be like, okay, you were manipulated, go on with your days. Like, what the fuck?
Much if the rest of
Again,
the apology
they're both
is looking
adults,
like this.
so
But
no,
anyway,
you
she
didn't just get
continues,
manipulated.
"In
You're
regards to
fully
Nanolis,
capable
for
of
the
making your own
majority of
fucking
the time working
decisions.
with her, Red was the
This
one
isn't-
almost solely
And there's
doing
no
the
fucking,
communication
there's no evidence of abuse going on, by the way. So, like, obviously that would be a different case, but there is no evidence of that going on.
about new plans and negotiations through his private DMs. Nano had a project server we were all a part of where the actual art and models were worked on, but the conversations were focused around the work itself. I was not fully aware of the extent of Red's manipulation over Nano's commission decisions, and I should have been more diligent in my oversight. Every time I had been told
Hold
that
on.
Nano had agreed to work.
However, I do want to say right now that the only screenshots Nano included of her and Cinder communicating directly, Cinder did like flat out say, yeah, if you need to go for other people's work, go ahead, do it. After Nano had already admitted they were in fucking, what is it? An agreement where Nano would only work for her, Cinder. So I don't,
with me,
bro,
it had been
I don't know.
willingly
It
and with
feels like things are
excitement.
being left
From
out,
my
and I
point
don't
of
like
view,
it.
was
Like
that
I
she
don't like
genuinely
that
wanted
shit.
to be working on these things. I wanted to work with Nano as much as I possibly could, making
Like,
her art
this
the face
situation
of my brand.
led me to
We had
use
come to the
F1
conclusion
quotes,
that
like,
it'd be in my best
this what
interest
you
to
get
talk with Nano
with
about
this
making
fucking
more
shit
time
show,
for my
honestly.
projects by negotiating with her to cut out
Verse
other work.
7.
This
No,
was
that's
wrong for us to
honestly
push
real.
onto her,
Like,
and
what-
it was wrong
like,
to the
exactly,
other
what the fuck
creators who
is
wanted
this
the
shit
chance
show?
of
Like,
working
this-
with. There was only one
like, oh my
specific
god,
creator
bro.
we were
The VTuber
responsible for
community
naming
just
and
needs to
pressuring
fucking
Nano
go. Like,
to
what the fuck
reconsidering
we,
projects
like,
with,
honestly,
not
what
an
is this
entire
at this
list.
point?
Of her own volition, Nano canceled a large portion of her model commissions last September. However, the claim that I was just using
Yeah.
her is wrong. Wait, no, this is completely undermining what actually happened. Redacted pressured Nano to not work with Bao, Cotton,
Hold on.
Silver, and there was even mention of
Muujin,
Geary
shut the fuck up. Muujin, shut up, dude. Cause what? Cause hold on. You just twisted that. He just twisted that. Am I crazy? I feel like he just twisted that. Cause Nano did admit that she told all of them she had health problems. And she was in a fucking agreement where she would only work for fucking Cinder. What? Oh my god. This is so dumb. 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 This is actually driving me insane. Okay, whatever.
there.
Whatever.
And let's not forget that more recently, Shy Lily was included in there too. So for Cinder to
And
say
yes,
Nano
yes, Cinder did fucking talk shit about her, but Nano also, she also talked, she was like, yeah, you're right. And you're like, as the artist, you're completely capable of being like, shut the fuck up, stop talking shit about other people I'm working with. Like, what?
canceled these of her own volition is wild, seeing that they manipulated her into doing so. Anyway, she continues, I've always treated Nano
Using
with respect, and as
manipulation
my
as
friend,
an
I did give her a
excuse
lot of work,
is not
and we
a
did
fucking
everything we could to
excuse.
accommodate
What?
her schedule if she needed
Am
more
I
time or a
crazy? Am
break. And
I
even
dumb?
helped her with
Like,
her
what?
own project payments multiple times. I've invited her on my stream, I've sent her my merch and things she's made for me, and I was always open to talking to her about things outside of our projects in the instances we would message each other. Regarding the exclusivity deal made between them, I had no part in the direct negotiations of their eventual agreement, and I had no knowledge of Bao and Cotton being included in this list. If I had known my friends were included, I would have said something to put a stop to it. I was only aware of it being about one person who I was unfairly pursuing. When Nano had messaged me about this agreement almost a month later, I was under the impression this was only about Silvervale. I was upset, and my initial messages to her were very guilt-trippy, but I
Dude,
wasn't
what?
going to force Nano to do anything she wasn't okay with, and tried reassuring her that
Hold
I was
on.
okay with her
Hold
decision.
on. I'm gonna highlight what she just said. That was very guilt trippy. So she's admitting it. She is admitting it. She's admitting that she did guilt trip her. So I don't understand why people are like, oh, she's pushing this all on red. That's false. She just apologized for it.
Nano had also never
like,
come to me as
what the
seriously
fuck
and
is-
professionally
like,
as her
are we
document
gonna be
was
so
looking to
serious
address
right
the
now?
issues she had with either of us or to terminate our partnership. I had no idea there was even a conversation about Shy Lily recently between Red and Nano until reading her document. It's true I had confided in Red that lately I hadn't been hearing from Lily like I had in the past and was worried something
And
was
to
wrong.
be fair, we did see proof of this. We did see proof. Because I get it. Some people don't like talking to other streamers in their own stream. Even if they're raiding them. But if you openly acknowledge the raid but then not the person who raided you, it can come off like that unless you call the person afterwards and be like, hey, by the way, I wasn't trying to ignore you or anything, blah blah blah, I just didn't want to acknowledge another streamer. Like, what? Like pause. Or maybe Shy Lily just forgot. Like, that's also, you guys are forgetting they're all human. Even if they're being childish right now. Like
Wrong, but that's
Oh
as
my
far as
God.
it went, and he took it upon himself to try digging
This is such
for
a
more
dumb
info.
situation,
And I was never
and,
even
like-
aware Nano was ever planning to work on a model for another one of my friends, Geary. I do not condone anything about what Red said about Bao in these DMs either, and him using we and our in this context is abhorrently incorrect, and I believe was done to gain greater credibility behind what he was saying. Yes, Red and I were initially upset when
So-
Bao hired my editor, and I took
Thanks-
it personally
thanks for
when I shouldn't
following.
have. I felt
The
as
Cinder
if maybe my
situation is
content
crazy. It
wasn't good
is,
enough, or
'cause
like I wasn't
they're
paying
all
enough for his
behaving like
work,
children.
but I
They're all behaving
accepted
like
it.
children. And this apology, although it definitely should not have been a fucking doc. I hate the fucking docs, and I don't understand why the VTuber community decided this is gonna be how we do things now. That's fucking dumb. No, like this should have been a live or something. But so far, this apology, it's actually kind of solid. Like she's taken fucking credibility for things that she did that was wrong. But she's also made it clear that she didn't know about this. And from the fucking docs that Nano posted, again, if they're leaving shit out, that could be it. Because Nano did also leave out the fact that they had a fucking, like, agreement where she would only work for them. Like, am I going crazy? Like, am I fucking actually going off the deep end or something? Like, what the fuck?
And was happy for him for getting that bag and supporting one of my friends at the same time. I don't know, at this point, these things are very hard to believe. If she confided in Red how pissed she was, she's admitting that yes, she was pissed and she confided in Red. Red then used this information to add them to the blacklist. But regardless, those feelings are not things you're meant to feel towards friends.
Yeah, no
anyway,
shit.
She continues.
But she seems like she might be insecure. Like, and that's not fucked. That doesn't mean she's like actually like a despicable human being. It just means that she's dumb as shit. like what? None of this needed to be online. None of this needed to be online. This is so fucking dumb. This is actually the most fucking retarded shit I've ever seen in my entire goddamn life.
I was also upset when Sack, the Boss Rush music video editor, had told us that he won't be working on any future project with us and would instead be working exclusively for Bao. But Red got it in his head that it was Bao's fault that it happened and seemingly held a grudge against her for it. He was very passionate about Boss Rush and the potential future projects around it, but he told me about a music video editor as talented as Sack.
All of this seems
the future
possible.
Projects wouldn't reach the same heights, so he created this headcanon that's laid out in those DMs. I wasn't convinced this was the case, but it's my fault for never speaking with Bao about these things directly to clear things up and letting it spiral to the point it got to. Every comment here about her own music, guilt tripping, and claims about our shared feelings towards her are
really respect
disgusting. And I honestly don't know why you thought this way about my close friend beyond the resentment over those two things or why it was worth sabotaging her over.
Me off
like,
a little
again,
bit,
if you
really
had the time to confide how pissed you were about this to Red, you could have messaged Bao to clear things up. Assuming you had no idea what Red did, it's still kind of a problem that you didn't want to clear this up in one DM. She goes on to say,
yeah,
it's just business screenshot of my DMs with Nano's document was from November of 2023. And I'll go.
It's just insane, completely childish. I haven't really went over the apologies myself yet, but I've heard that Cinder is completely throwing Red under the bus. No, we're reading the apology right now, and she admitted to the things that she did. Like, and we read all of her fucking, like, all of the Discord DMs. There's only like 3 that are actually from Cinder in the ones that Nano posted. The rest of it was from Red, and Nano admits, like, the ones that are from Cinder, Nano at the beginning of that conversation is, hey, I've only been conversing with Red so far. I wanted to reach out to you and make sure this wasn't true, that I'm not supposed to work with these people. And what is her name? Cinder flat out said, hey, yeah, no, go for it. If you need that money, go for it. Like, what? What the fuck? Like, all of this. But again, Cinder isn't innocent either, because she was shit talking like a lot. Like, she was shit talking legitimately. But also, what the fuck? I don't even understand. This is all dumb. This is all so fucking dumb.
What Red was trying to explain to Nano is that if everyone has a model by her, then the innate value of her models overall are diminished by there being.
Basically, this part is definitely her fault, because she doesn't understand what art, like, what the value of art is. The value of the art is that of how good it is and how detailed and how much work Nano puts into it, not just how many there is of it. Basically, the whole situation is just F to, like, what are we, 5, 6 years old? From this, I feel like most of the community is made up from kids who aren't mature enough. They are, because they're all fucking shut-ins who have never gone outside in their lives and don't have a fucking life outside of social media. That's it. That's why there's so much fucking problems, is because none of them have any fucking social or communication skills. Like, what? Yeah, that's kind of fair. So it's really just Cinder properly blaming Red. I mean, of course she isn't completely off the hook, but still, it sounds like majority of Red's and Nano's fault. It is! Like that's what I'm saying. Like, it seems like, obviously Cinder's not fucking innocent, but, like, honestly, this seems like a lot of it is just fucking Red and Nano being fucking idiots. And none of them talking to each other. like on all sides. The only people that are innocent so far are Bao, Spite, and then that other girl. I can't remember what her name is. The people that were getting shit talked about them. However, I don't think that they needed to respond in full-on docs. Yeah, Silver also, but she's not who I'm talking about, but Silver also seems innocent, but she also was kind of like, I'm not gonna lie, she was low-key engagement farming this on Twitter. And she's the only person that I've heard about any of this from, other than Shy Lily. So I was like, what the fuck? like what? Those are the only the only actual people involved that I've seen tweet about this. So I was like, what the fuck? Okay. I don't even know.
Oversaturation of that type of model out there.
But this is the only part that I genuinely think that Cinder did really bad with. Other than talking shit, obviously.
Where he was coming from with this, but in the VTuber space.
Also, we're not even going to talk about the cheating affair because none of that should have ever gone online. That shit is so fucking dumb, so fucking chronically online.
And looking to collab with them as sisters when I could.
I mean, it's kind of valid. She's somewhat small. Not sure, and trying to grow her brand. Wait.
You met up with Silver at TwitchCon, cheered that
no,
you guys are both
honestly,
wolf
girl
sisters,
boss
and
for
then stabbed
Silver.
her in the back. Yeah, that
cheating. I'll re-explain for you since you weren't here when we went over that. Some dude back 5 years before she was even Silver, when she was still dating Redacted, she got on an online affair with some other fucking VTuber. And they were online diddling each other or something. I don't know how that really works, but apparently they were doing it. And then they stopped, and it was honestly low-key traumatized me. Like, that shit should have stayed offline. Why did you post any of that? First of all, it had nothing to do with any of the situation that was happening. Second of all, why was that online? Just remembering it, I feel like I'm going insane. Like low-key. There's a special place in hell for the person that posted that.
Me saying it's just business was referring to my acceptance of Nano's business decisions, whether she chose to work with me or not.
Sakuna
This
stare.
was not in
No
reference
real.
to anyone's
No
model
real.
being cancelled, further explaining to her that it's okay if she chooses not to work with me. I can understand where the next part can sound manipulative, but my intention was to reminisce about the journey we had together up to this point, since at this time I wasn't
this
sure
seems
if
just
this is
like
where
bad
Nano and I would
communication
stop working
skills,
together
not
as
gonna lie.
frequently as we had been, and I'd have to look for a new model artist. I then encouraged her to work on projects she's excited about while I talked with Red to find a project that would work with her schedule.
Yeah, that
Definitely
seems reasonable
looking
at the end
things with
there.
the perspective of
The
best
only part
case
with that
scenario.
last-
I want to believe that's the case, but with how Red was talking, it just makes it very hard to believe.
Yeah, Red. Why are you guys acting like they're the same person? Miscommunication, but just on a whole different level, universal level. Yeah,
when talking about
most
Silvervale, I need to
VTubers
start at the
are
beginning.
fucking
Before I
socially
was
inept.
Cinder, I was
They're
a pink
fucking
cherry
they're
blossom
so
girl
dumb.
named
Like, it's
Tashi
not even
that did
funny.
ASMR
Like
content.
what
When
are
the
we talking
VTuber
about
boom
here?
happened in 2020, I knew I wanted to join in. Red and I contacted an artist in October, and they were set
And
to start my
Cinder
VTuber
just
design
seems
by
very
December.
insecure
The plan was
and
to take my
socially
cherry
inept,
blossom
and
persona Tashi and make her a
that
pink and white
probably
wolf girl
caused a
VTuber.
lot of this.
In November
And
of that same
fucking
year, Silvervale
Red
revealed her Sakura
seems
wolf
very,
free
like,
design. I had heard of
self-centered,
Silvervale
very-
earlier that year, but I
well,
didn't watch
there
her
must be
streams
something
at all.
wrong with
We knew
you
we had to
because
pivot
blah,
before we
blah,
were
blah.
stuck with a design that would just be a copy of one of the most popular VTubers at the time. Like I've explained many times on my stream, I knew I wanted to be a wolf girl, so I mixed my love
Okay.
of Okami and metal music into the design and came out with a hellhound. My name was
Alright,
originally going to
cool.
be Ember, but Red came up with the name Cinder since it was a mix of Sin and Cinder, both hell and fire themed. It was
Okay,
only a coincidence
okay.
that it ended up being similar to Silver. I was genuinely interested in pursuing a friendship with her and drew fan art myself of us together.
Okay.
See, that would be considered wholesome, but then teeters
Yeah.
on the borderline of being a stalker when we
How?
know how hard she tried to be friends with her and then ended up backstabbing
That
her.
seems like she
continues,
wanted
"On
to
the
be her
other hand,
friend."
Red was in my ear the whole
That
time
seems like
saying
she
how
wanted to
great
be her
working
friend.
together would be since again he's been the business-oriented side of my brand. Since I started streaming, I have been ruthlessly compared to Silvervale, being called the discount version of her. I was
Okay.
accused of copying her
Again,
design,
this
copying her
ties into her
personality,
being
and even
insecure.
copying her laugh
The
at
stalker
all
thing is a
things.
stretch.
And
No,
there
it
was
is.
a large
That's
number of
definitely a
people who were
stretch,
diehard
dude.
believers in the fact that I
Like,
stole all of these attributes
I know,
maliciously
like,
for
a
my own
lot of the
gain, citing the
again,
art I
because most people in the VTuber community are fucking socially inept.
posted of us together, calling her an
They get like,
inspiration.
oh
When in
my
reality,
god, my
this was
favorite
referring to the
VTuber,
decision
I have a
become
chance of being friends with
hellhound.
her. I'm
The
gonna
only
keep
time Silvervale
pestering
was
her about
mentioned in
it.
The original designing of my character was when we explained why we were pivoting to something else, and there were no references of her character involved. I grew
Okay.
more and more resentful of Silver over time between the constant belittling of myself. A
See, she's
controversy
taking
around my first
accountability
wife
for it
hookup
right
and
now.
other
Like,
incidents,
she
even
just
though
said,
herself never
I've just been
interacted
growing
with me
resentful.
directly. And it was also that fact that made me insecure. Like I wanted to
She
know
just
if
admitted to
believed
being
all these
insecure.
things
I
or
was
not.
right, bro.
It really felt as if she didn't like that I even existed in the same space. So at the point I was working with Nano consistently, we brought up not making any more models for her. If a VTuber model is how everyone recognizes you, then it'd be harder to compare us directly if we no longer look alike or have that shared similarity. It was a wrong and selfish decision. but it made me feel better, and that's why it was a constant topic with Nano.
Okay.
Red pushed for
Like,
this harder than
obviously
I
I
ever did
wouldn't
because
do
he knew
it,
how it
'cause that's
affected me for
dumb,
years, but no matter
and
what
it's
the
not a
outcome
right
was,
thing
I
to
wasn't going to
do,
walk
but
away
like
from
it's
working with
like I
Nano.
can
Silver was
understand
completely
where if
undeserving
she's
of this
insecure,
treatment, and it was my
she's
own
been compared to her
insecurities
for a
that led
while.
me to making
I
this
understand
choice.
why
I
she might
became
think like that.
unapologetically evil towards her due to no direct action of her own. There's no excuse for any of this. It's interesting, right? Because that's exactly how she made Spite feel. And even though
Holy
that was
Max
the case,
versus
she never
happened,
went
bro.
out publicly
I
to
don't
say,
know.
hey guys, stop harassing her.
Dude,
This
I
idea
can't.
of a VTuber copying another has been a problem in the VTubing sphere for a long time. And
Yeah,
that's
it has
the
been.
community's fault. But I personally don't like how often Sinder is throwing Red under the bus. Even here, saying Red pushed for this harder than I ever did. Yeah, so what? You were aware of this, and you were pushing it in DMs with Nano too, so it doesn't
Okay.
matter whether he did or not. Like, I wonder, we're not even halfway
But
through. Is she
she's
still gonna push this
explaining
narrative
herself.
that Red was doing the majority of this, and I was on the sidelines, but I'm still sorry? It's like, no.
But that
No,
didn't
You were
happen.
very much
You
aware.
just read it. You're assuming stuff. There's only so many designs. Exactly, dude. Like, dude, be so for real right now. Mujin, like,
She
oh,
continues.
dude.
Moving on from
Like-
Silvervale, let me
Like
talk
that's
about
how that's how rumors and stuff like this happen, because you're taking, like, she didn't say any of that. She didn't say any of that, and you're putting words in her mouth.
Spike.
Dude.
Once again, I had no
Like,
involvement
dude.
or knowledge of Red bringing up
Like,
Spike
what the
to
fuck?
Nano in 2023. My only personal involvement with excluding someone specific from working with Nano was
She only
Silver.
mentioned
My design
Red
sheet and
once in that
outfit were
entire
finished and made
paragraph,
public at the
dude.
very
What
start
the
of
fuck?
2021. The first thing she mentions is a debut teaser in 2022 that was apparently posted on the same day as her original debut, which I honestly don't know if at the time this was intentional or not. I don't know when I first discovered Spite, and it could have been after she debuted. When I first debuted, I was very possessive of my design details. I had made it a year and a half since my design sheet was finished and public to having a full VTuber
Okay.
debut as I watched everything
Bro,
grow and
what?
change from the sidelines.
This
and I
all
didn't
seems
want anyone else to
so
capitalize on my
dumb.
concept before I could. Soon after my original debut, I remember Spite getting an update to her model that made it seem like she more closely resembled me, including fire added to her model. Without evidence, I saw it and thought she must have copied me, but I never did anything about it other than voice my frustrations to Red. I didn't want to start
Okay.
drama with anyone, and I didn't have ownership over fire as a design detail. The references
it's
for the
just
ripped
shit
shirt
talking
and
that
shorts
spiraled,
outfit on
bro.
my bikini model was given to Nano in June of 2022 with the
Okay,
purpose
dude,
of having a
what the
cover-up
fuck?
outfit that would be safe for
Oh my
Twitch.
God.
The merch art she's
I think
referring to was
commentaries like
designed around
this
my
add
concept of
unneeded
fire
bias
changing glue.
remarks.
The
They
fact that the rest
do.
of the art was
Like,
grayscale
'cause
was
he
the artist's
like,
choice since it
I
was going
respect
onto the
Mujin a
back
lot,
of a hoodie and I
but
didn't
it
have a
feels
say,
like
or at least I didn't counter that being
he's
the final
taken a
decision.
lot of
There was no
biased
intention to
opinions into
deliberately
this.
look like Spite with this piece. Unfortunately, both my
dude,
Angel
chill
and
out.
Sleepy outfits
Chill-
being
chill
similar
out.
to
Just take
outfits
it at
Spite has done in
face
the past
value.
was just
Like-
a coincidence. I had always planned to one day make an Angel counterpart to my Demon outfit when it was being made in 2023,
Okay.
and my original
I
ref
can't,
sheet laid the
dude.
groundwork for that idea.
What are we
I've
talking
never
about
liked
here?
theming anything around my brand in a religious light, so I chose to make my Angel form more Greek Valkyrie than biblical, which also gives it
Okay.
a similar look to my Demon form. The Sleepy
Okay.
outfit was a last-minute decision to pivot from a fully new 3.0 model because I had the opportunity to work with gamer subs on an AFK flavor. Spike
Cool.
never should have received
don't
the hate
care.
comments over her outfit or any comments comparing us or belittling her because of my existence,
But
and I
it-
never
it's
advocated
not
for
your
anyone to do so,
fault
especially
that
given my
she got
experience.
hate
In
on her
regards to
outfit.
Spite, I'll let
It's
you
your
decide.
community.
Was it a
You could've done
coincidence
more
that
about
so many
that,
outfits matched
but
each
it's
other?
not-
And is it a
as long as
coincidence
you
that
weren't
every
going,
time
"Oh,
Cinder
she sucks."
complained about anything to Red, he would make it personal? Anyway, she continues. Spite
But that's
also
not
brought
even
up another
outside the
creator who
realm of
reached out to her about
possibility.
their
Like, I
experience
don't
with me,
understand
and
why
I
you're
can only
acting like
assume
it
it's
is.
Niantic.
That happens a
They are
lot.
an ASMR
Like, when my
artist who at
friends
one
talk
point
shit to
posted
me,
a
I always
Hellhound
take that
original
shit
character for one of their upcoming
personally
ASMR
because I like
videos, and it
protecting
was
my
undoubtedly
friends.
created using
Even
me as
if
a reference. This
Red
was
took
right
it
after
way
my
out of
debut,
hand
and
'cause
like
he's
I
a
said, I was
self-centered
very protective
person,
of my design elements
which
being unique to me, and
isn't
I
me saying he's
overreacted.
evil.
Shortly
I'm just
after,
saying
I
that's a
apologized, and
personality
they
trait
agreed
of
to
his I've
adjust the character
observed.
design, and I thought the matter was settled. At the very start of my online career, I was a girlfriend
Like,
experienced
dude,
ASMR artist.
I
Before
can't.
I started my channel, I had gotten into listening to roleplay audios myself.
No,
I had always been a shut-in to
no. They're about to start fucking addressing. Red gives Yandere vibes. Red gives keyboard warrior vibes. They're about to get into the cheating bit, and oh my god, this shit traumatized me. I can't. Why the fuck? Why did that even have to see the light of day? It's the most chronically online thing I've ever seen in my entire life. What do you mean you're having internet
about high school and
intercourse?
college, and I wasn't happy with where my life
gonna,
and
like,
relationship
cry,
were
like,
at the
what?
time. After uploading my first few audios, my channel started growing fast. This was the first time I was inundated with so many people
Cool.
wanting to know
Cool
me
beans,
and talk
bro.
to me,
I
and I got
don't
lost in the
care.
excitement of it all, not fully coming to terms
None of
with
this
these
should have
messages
been
being because of the
online,
kind of of content
I'm gonna go get
I was
popcorn.
immature and
You do
inexperienced
that,
with how to
dude.
conduct myself online. I have never had many IRL
This
friends
shit is
and had
almost
met Rain
over. I
doing
just gotta tough
ASMR.
it out.
I quickly became comfortable chatting with him
Okay.
about everything, divulging my grievances about my personal life when I shouldn't have. I cheated on my boyfriend with Rain in these conversations, flirting and sexting.
Okay.
I used Rain for emotional
I don't
comfort
care.
and
I don't
sexual
wanna know.
fantasy while I let my real life relationship collapse.
You don't
it was
need to
about my
explain this part,
dissatisfaction with
honey.
my personal life and
This had
escaping
nothing
into
to do
messages
with any of
someone else who I
this.
found through content focused around girlfriend and boyfriend RP. It was never about climbing the ladder with Rain, and I find that being his takeaway from why I moved on baffling. By the
Yeah,
time
no,
I
Rain
was ready
was
to
definitely
debut as Cinder, I
this-
wanted to
like,
leave
it
that in the
feels
past.
like-
Still, to this day, I
it
regret my
feels
decisions and have been
like-
living with it
like-
since, and I was lucky to be able to mend my
revenge
relationship
porn.
after this. So she
He was
confirmed
mad that
she
they-
cheated, and Red
she
was
left-
fully
she was-
aware,
she
at least
became
as far as we know.
uninterested in
Yeah,
him.
maybe Rain did have the wrong
So
conclusion here.
he
Maybe
did
she
the
actually
same
moved
thing
on
that
because she
Cinder
wanted to leave
did,
this part of her life behind.
where
Sure.
she
But
drew
did she
false
cheat?
conclusions
Yeah.
from
She then
Bao.
continues and says, and lastly, I want to
But
address
Rain did the
Peaches.
same
This is
thing.
a
He
very
drew
big problem
false
I have, and I'm sure many
conclusions
others
from
in my
Cinder
position do too.
going away
At the end
from
of the day,
him,
I
I
am
guess.
one person. I
I
am
don't
one
know.
person working on multiple projects with multiple companies, talking to dozens of people,
Poor
and
Bao.
streaming for
Bao
hours
seems
almost
like the
every
only
day.
innocent
I've never
person.
had a big social
And then
battery, and
the
I get
people who
tired
got
very
talked shit
easily when
about are
interacting with
also
people.
seem
I
innocent.
haven't had much energy at all over the past year, leading to me taking frequent naps. I've rarely been able to keep up with my closest handful of friends on a frequent basis, let alone
Cool.
everyone else. Red has always been a big help in keeping up with things, but he doesn't do everything. I'm so sorry I made you feel forgotten, Peaches. I've always cherished your friendship, and I was so incredibly excited to meet you in Paris. I'm so grateful for everything you've done for me, and I've never thought to purposefully drop you just because I
Okay.
could. I'm sorry. I know I've made a lot of
This
people feel
all
forgotten
seems like
or
it got
ignored. It's so
blown
easy to
way
get
out
caught
of
up in projects
proportion.
or what I'm
Like,
doing
what
while I
are
have
we
the
talking
energy to
about
do
here?
it, that people fall by the wayside.
People
I
were making her
understand the
sound like
feelings
she
of
did
those
some
who
shit that
resent me
was,
over
like,
this, and all I
actually
can say is I'm
heinous.
sorry. I
Like-
don't
like they
deserve to
said,
be able to
"Oh, well,
contact
she was
everyone
making people
involved
miss
directly
out
to
on
personally
money."
apologize,
Huh?
so I'll do it here in the chance
Like, they
that
made
you
it sound
leave.
like she
So
sabotaged
before we get
gamer
into the
subs.
individual apologies, I just want
something.
to clarify, Peaches means Van Peaches. This is the same VTuber who called her out for having a boyfriend and trying to hide it from her.
Which
as if
had
they
nothing
didn't
to do
know
with
each
the
other.
situation at
Now
hand.
let's get into the individual apologies, starting
She-
with to Nano.
Bro.
I'm sorry I let things get to this point or even entertain
Don't
the thought
apologize
of
to
you
Nano,
working
bro.
exclusively
Nano
with
was
me. That's
pissing
not
me off
fair to
earlier.
you. I wouldn't be here without
Like,
you,
what?
and I wouldn't
Like,
have
what
been
are we
able to
talking
do
about
most
here?
of what I've
She
already done
used
without
her-
you.
she
I felt
weaponized
overly
the
attached to our
disability. That's
relationship
not
over the past
good.
4 years, and
And
loved
she-
your work
she
so much
didn't-
that I wanted to make
She actively participated in the shit talking. Like you. It's not that hard to be like, hey, shut the fuck up. I think when I read all of the docs from each provided, it's like every single outcome in my head after I'm done reading them, like the NASCAR and Le Mans having its gearbox exploded and making a sound that wouldn't be recoverable. No, that's real. Like, my head hurts. Like, it genuinely hurts from this fucking buffoonery that I'm seeing. Like, I can't.
Myself exclusive
Bring
to
back
your
the
art, and should have never sought
V120.
those feelings to be reciprocated.
Bro,
Everything you've ever worked
stop.
on for me was always so perfect, and I lost sight of how everyone else around me
Okay,
would have felt.
stop.
I had no intentions of
I can't.
pressuring you into anything,
Just-
but looking back on my clouded judgment, I can see how my
Just
messages
get rid
felt
of
that way.
docs altogether.
When I talked about how my models helped you improve, I meant that as
Please.
looking back on how far we've come together. We've been friends for so long and cheered each other on when we both started growing and getting more opportunities like plushies, figures, etc. You had
Cool.
been my exclusive artist for full life 2D models for the majority of my time as a VTuber, and
Which
of
they
course, I
had
would
an
have been
agreement
sad
for
if you didn't want to
exclusive
continue that relationship.
art, by the
But in
way.
all our
Nano
private DMs, I was okay with you
full out
ultimately
admitted
doing what
they
was
had
best for
an
yourself.
agreement for
I saw
that.
you as someone I trusted and loved and wanted to make sure you were still taking care of yourself.
Obviously,
with all the projects you took on,
Cinder's in the
mine or
wrong
otherwise.
because,
I never saw you as just a business partner. I
art-
thought I was reassuring you that I'd
the
always
value
be
of art isn't
understanding
how
if you
much
wanted
it
to
is,
move
it's
on to
how
other
much time you
projects.
put into
I
it.
genuinely
But-
appreciated our friendship. I always saw you as a close friend, and I'm
You
sorry
know,
for what
other
I've
than
put you
that,
through. To
the
Bao,
whole
since
situation
the
with Cinder
start,
is just
I've
dumb.
always
Like,
admired you and how
or the
genuine
whole
you've
situation
always
with
been to
Nano
everyone.
is
I wouldn't
dumb.
be here
Nano
without
sucks
you
too.
either. I'm disgusted with
VTubers
myself for
are
buying into the
offered two
narrative
pills
that
to
my
choose
friends were
from. Blue pill
competition.
docs,
I've
red
never
pill
had such
docs.
genuine friendships in my life, especially
you're
with
so
you.
real.
We've gotten to know each other so
No,
well
but the
online
docs
and
need
in
to
person.
go.
You've
The
already been
docs
through
need to
so
go.
much,
I'm
and the
gonna kill
last thing I'd
myself.
want to do is cause more harm. Well, that's a bit too late. But I did. I'm sorry for not reaching out sooner about these ideas that were put into my head. I wish we would have been able to talk about this too. I didn't know about the severity of things that have been said and theorized about my own friends behind my back until
This
now.
seems
It's
like a
my fault for
genuine
not realizing
apology.
the
What are
things
we
Red
talking
was
about
saying
here
about
right
me.
now?
The countless friendships I've made here within the last several years mean so much more to me than him and the business side of things. Wait, did she just say the countless friendships I've made here within the last several years mean so much more to me than him and the business side of things? Like the
Yeah.
friendships mean more to you than your boyfriend, or
Yeah.
did you just write this like in a non-clear way? Anyway,
No,
no
she-
amount of
she
popularity or
means
money
more
means
than
more
the
to me than the
boyfriend that
relationships I've built in
was
this community.
being
I've
an
always been
asshole
myself, whether that
to
be on
her
stream or in
friends.
person, and I hope the friends friends I made can
Like,
understand, I'd never
Mujin,
condone this
dude, I
behavior or
respect
any
you,
of
but
the
you're
things
kind
that
of
were said
pissing
about
me
my
off,
friends.
my
I've
guy.
always wanted everyone around me to thrive and find happiness. I can't stress enough how disappointed I am that I didn't see this sooner until it got to a breaking point. I'm sorry, Bao. After all these documents and these
Okay.
different people and their perspectives and their
the
points of
fuck?
views, is there
Nah,
a single
this
word
shit-
that you
this
believe
shit
in
is
this
pissing me
paragraph?
off.
Let me know in the
This
comments.
is why I don't use
Next
Twitter
up,
and
we
shit.
have
No,
to
you're
Sack.
real for that, but
I
like
love
there's
getting
no
to
way
chat
to
with you in
grow
person and absolutely
do
loved all
anything
the hard work you put
is
into
if you
the Boss
if you
Rush
don't
song.
do stuff.
I was so
And
grateful to hear you were on board
as long
to
as
edit
you're
the
not,
music video.
I'm gonna tell you a secret. As long as you're not interacting with this fucking rage bait, some VTubers are kind of nice. Like some of them are pretty chill people, but then then there's these fucking but they're also really dumb because they're all socially inept. They don't mean to be harmful. None of them are doing any of this on purpose. They just need to learn better social skills. Like, oh my god, like they make it their entire personality that they were the quiet kid. Like, dude, like I get it. You probably had like a rough time as a child, but you're an adult now, so you need to grow the fuck up. Like I'm sorry, learn how to talk to people and communicate and solve your fucking problems. Like this all could have been fucking like, this is a fucking complete insult pit. Yeah, not gonna lie, all the docs hammered so many creators and small creators like you or me is like a letdown from a rocket ship to a fucking Airbus. No, it is. Like the docs, they made 20 all this weight. Like, first of all, they added so much fucking context that was unneeded. Like, why are they so fucking long? Just get to your fucking point, please. And second of all, like what's the point? Just go on call. Like, sort this out yourselves. Like, why are you fucking sicking your armies on each other, bro? What the fuck? At that point, it might as well be Cessna, bro. You're y'all, I can't. I'm going
exactly why
insane.
the stream got pushed back, but I definitely wouldn't have put the blame on you knowing about how soon the deadline was when you started working on it. I was so thankful for your willingness to complete the project despite everything, and the quality of how it turned out was incredible. I can't believe how Red talked about you, especially after all the effort you put in for me. I'm so sorry for everything that's happened. Next up, we have Takaten and Shy Lily. They don't get individual apologies, they got grouped up together. Anyway, she says, I'm so sorry you
yeah,
had to
'cause
get
they each
dragged
got
into this.
mentioned,
It's
like,
my fault I
once
let
or
it get
twice.
this far, but I hope you can believe me when I say I had no knowledge of Red bringing you up in Nano's DMs. I just learned about all this myself, and there could have been so many other friends affected
by the way,
narrative that things always
almost
have to be competitive.
all of the
If I knew
fucking
Red
evidence
was trying
Nano
to
posted was
exclude
between
specific
her
friends in
and
this
Red.
exclusivity deal, I would have spoken up. None of my
And then
friendships
everybody's
are
like,
worth
well,
sacrificing over
Red
an
and
art
Cinder
piece.
are
I love
actually
being
the
your
same
friend and all
person,
the
so
memories
what the
we've
fuck?
shared, and I hope
No.
someday you can forgive me for allowing this
Pause.
to happen.
What?
Next up, we have to Silver.
Bro, Lily
Since
went
the
straight
start,
for the
I
jugular
loved
next.
that I saw
I
someone
love
else
Lily.
share
I
so
thought
many
that shit was
similar
hilarious,
interests
and I
to me,
posted a
and I
meme
thought
about it.
maybe
But like,
someday we could talk about it all and be good friends.
if this
I was
is
blinded by all these
if this
hate
is what
comments
actually
around me calling me your
happened,
lesser half. I
like,
hate the
what
person
the
I've
fuck?
become towards you.
I'm
I
sorry.
tried reaching out some time ago to try to start up a friendly
yeah,
conversation
it's
to
really
change things
fucking
and make
odd. I
things
feel like
right,
they're just
say
trying
hi
to make
you
an
at
example out of
conventions and
Cinder
support
because
your
this is all
endeavors,
so
but
fucking
despite all
dumb.
that,
This
I
is
was
so
still being
childish.
eaten alive by
This
my
is so
own
like
doubts and fear
there's
or
no
harassment.
reason for
I was
any of
pressured
this.
by the community as a whole to try
This
reaching
could have
out
been
to
solved if they all
collaborate,
just
since I got
called
these
each
messages so
other
often.
and used their fucking this was like this just
and
proves that they're
comparing
all
us, and I
fucking
hoped we
chronically
could work
online
something out.
theater
The
kids
photo
that
of me
never
at the
grew
meet
the
and greet
fuck
was
up.
taken candidly, and I thought it looked cute, and I posted it without asking you, which was wrong of me. I was so wrong for letting everyone get in my head about all these malicious feelings. I'm so sorry for any opportunities I've taken away from you. I'm sorry.
Okay. So hard to believe these are adults. I know, right? The thing at the end that I feel like probably tipped people off, like, oh, she's blaming this on him, is because she's like, I'm sorry that I let people get in my head. She worded that, like, I can tell what she was saying, though, because of context clues. But she worded it wrong. Because none of them know how to communicate or talk to each other. Bro. Like, if you're looking for the bad, it makes me look like a fucking newborn. Like, exactly. Like, what the fuck? Like, dude. Bro. Like, if you're looking for her to be the villain, yeah. But if you're, like, looking at this as a fucking individual, like, oh, she's, like, this is her genuine apology, like, you can tell. Like, what? Like, am I the crazy one? Like, this seems like a fucking solid apology, even though it's a doc, and I fucking hate docs. Like, they just, the VTuber community needs to leave the fucking alone. Leave the docs alone. Please stop. Please stop. I can't take it anymore. No, but like, oh my god. This seems so fucking dumb. They were
Then we have the shortest apology in the entire document. To Spite. I'm sorry I had assumed things about your design that weren't true, and I'm sorry
no
you've been
shit,
harassed by
because
commenters needing to compare us. And I
because
apologize for the
she
way
had
Red
nothing to
spoke
do with
about
Spite.
you to Nano. You didn't deserve any of this, Spite. I'm sorry. Next up, we have Van Peaches, 2 Peaches. I'm sorry if I made it seem like I was ignoring or ghosting you. I was so happy we had the opportunity to meet in person, and I was apologetic with how
Did they just rewind or something? I thought she already
busy
apologized
things
to
were for
Peaches.
me at the time. I wanted to spend more time with you, but as I got more and more DMs and messages, everything became so overwhelming. I've always had a low social battery, and that made it so hard for me to keep up to date with all my friends. I've never had any ill feelings towards you, and
By the way,
Next
she
up,
didn't
we
say
have
anything about
Rain.
these people to
To
Nano.
Rain.
That was Red.
You were the first person I met as an ASMR artist during a time where I was immature. 4
Yeah,
months
hold on, wait a second.
away from you. I'm sorry, Silver. Then we have the short.
I'm
You were the first person I met as an ASMR.
This definitely
And
went
my
back a
mods
bit.
for expecting me to lead a better example than this.
Okay,
I'm
here it
sorry
is.
to the VTuber community for looking towards me as someone to aspire to. I'm
Okay,
sorry
here we
to
go.
Kaiser, who's put his heart and soul into everything he's ever done for me and not even talking to you about how I felt. I'm sorry to the dozens of artists that have put their hard work into me, and I'm sorry to the rest of my friends
Okay.
who I've let down. I've led a bad example, and I don't expect forgiveness. I've made many mistakes over my 5 years on the internet,
Yeah,
and I'm only
she
one
did
person
fuck
living
up.
the one life
She
I
made
get
mistakes
for
in
the first
this.
and only
She's
time,
not
like everyone
innocent.
else.
But
As I
neither
said
are-
at the start,
to
I
be
ended up
honest,
developing an extremely
a
unhealthy
lot of the
work-life
other people
balance,
that
and the
people
harm
are
that
like,
has
oh,
caused with the
these
way
people
you
are so
view things is
innocent.
irreparable.
They also
The way
did
I've been
shit.
perceiving things lately is not how I want to view the
And
world
to be
moving
honest,
forward,
she's
and
not
this
even
goes
the
to
worst
show there's a
offender
lot
in
I need
this-
to address and
in
improve
all
if
of
I'm going
this.
to continue
Like,
being
what?
a creator. I'm devastated that the friendship so special to me may understandably never be mended again. I love my job, and
Yeah,
I love all the
I
friends
feel like
I've
this
had.
all could have
Thank you
been
for
fucking
reading.
solved with a
Signed,
fucking video call or
Snider.
something.
Whew, what a read. My voice is almost gone. What did
Yeah,
I get out
shut
of
the
this?
fuck
Well,
up.
it was kind of
Dude,
what I was expecting.
like,
There's
I
nothing
usually
she can
am like,
really
oh,
say
okay,
that can
Mugen,
repair
Mugen.
what happened.
Like,
Sure,
agreeing
Redacted
with
was her
him.
manager, he was
But
doing the
this
talking for her, and
is
even
just
if we were
dumb.
to believe her and give her the benefit of the doubt 100%, we still have proof, and she admitted that she was
Yeah, we have
purposefully targeting
proof that
Silver. All of
Red
this was also
said
happening over the
stuff.
last couple
And
of
we do
years,
have
maybe
proof
even a
that
bit
she talked
longer.
shit,
This
but,
isn't
like,
just about her
to
not being
the
aware
extent
and
people
Red
are
being
witch
the guy who
hunting
did
for
all
her,
of this
I-
by himself.
like, what?
This is about how she's the boss, Red is her manager, and in any other industry, this would be considered
Yeah,
gross
except
negligence. Just
Red
imagine
is
with me for a
also
second. If
her
Nano didn't make her
boyfriend,
document, then
which
how long would this have
shouldn't have
carried
fucking
on?
happened,
I get
because then
goosebumps just
situations
thinking
like
about
this
it.
happen
This is ridiculous.
because
And
there's
it's
no
actually very
fucking,
easy to shut down
like,
all her excuses.
hierarchy in the
She was there when
workplace
Bao showed her
or
the model that Nano
professionalism.
was working on. Throughout this entire document, she kept saying how Nano was
Dude,
more than just an artist. She
this
was
is
her
so
friend.
dumb.
She loved her. When
Okay,
Bao
Mugen,
vented to her and her
I'm not
along
listening to him anymore. Here, we'll go
attaching
to the
two
next part.
screenshots we already saw in Nano's document and a new screenshot showing the group chat where she vented about Nano dropping her. It's
Okay.
just not adding up. This apology is only making things worse and even weirder for Sinder. Shy Lily replied to this apology, and here's
Shy
what she had
Lily's
to
fucking
say.
response.
The
This shit was
absolute
funny, though.
audacity to sit here and continue to manipulate
It was funny
and
because I didn't
gaslight
know the
is
situation
absolute
behind it.
Insanity. The pain and mental torment you've
We're gonna
caused to
shut
the
up while
ones
she talks,
closest
though.
and most supportive of you has been devastating, and I have never been so heartbroken and hurt so badly for my friends. You are the fakest person I've ever had the displeasure of supporting, reading and hearing of how you've really viewed me behind my back, not just through screenshots of your man, but also your very own messages.
But she only
while having
mentioned
to
you,
sit
like,
here
twice.
and read through these bullshit lies you spin.
Like, I
makes me
love
want
Shy
to
Lily, don't
vomit.
get me
To
wrong,
claim that
but
you didn't
what
know
the
a
fuck?
single thing and had zero awareness of what your man was up to, and everyone who
Okay.
shared even a single
Unless things
moment
are
with
being
you
left
knows that you
out,
basically
like,
operate as
what?
the same person, sharing every waking moment while
But
loving
they're
to
not
jump
the
at the
same
slightest
person.
opportunity to turn into your most slanderous self as soon as the opportunity was given, even when talking about your friends is sickening.
The
I've
shit she
experienced
said,
your
while
own
it
actions
was
without
bad,
Red.
wasn't
In a
actually
situation
that
where in your own
horrible.
screenshotted words, you express a pressure to live up to what Lily is, and proceeded to throw one of your most
She just
loyal and
seems
supportive
insecure.
friends under the bus after months of continuous planning just because you consistently chose business over friends, never feeling bad for failing them. Just to earn the bag
She
and compete
just
with me over a
apologized for
V-Card
failing
collab
them,
that you rescheduled
actually.
to be on the exact date your friend needed you to keep an important promise. You actively lied about it to them, instead blaming me for a collab you rescheduled, adding me to the pool of excuses to save your ass when you realized you were being a bad friend. Why blame me for choosing to miss an obligation you agreed to on one of the most important days in that friend's career? Everything you do
None
is
of
out of
this was
competition through your
mentioned.
constant
I'm
need to
confused.
one-up people who are the sole reason you even have these opportunities and platforms to earn from to begin with. You're welcome, by the way. You claim that it's just business.
That's
well, in the
a
business
really
world,
shitty
there
thing
has
to
to
say
be
if you're
accountability,
claiming
and
to
all
be
you've
her
done
best
is try to shove
friend.
it away and admit nothing. In true narcissistic fashion, you're only feeling sorry about yourself and your own consequences in your career and try to salvage it. I'm sorry for everyone who looked up to you as an inspiration, and I'm especially sorry for your fans. Pyropups deserve better. Wow. You know, Shy Lily typically
What the
avoids
fuck?
drama even when there's her name involved. She avoids it.
Shy
She never
Lily-
gives it any
I
attention.
really
but this
love
time,
her, so
not
it's
only
kinda-
did she
it's
have
really
something to
disappointing
say,
to see
she
her,
gave out a
like,
career-ending statement.
doing,
And speaking
like
of
talking
career
like
ending,
this.
Cinder's post has almost
Like,
as
it
many
was straight for the
comments as
jugular.
likes, with many people
But she
expressing
wasn't,
their
like,
discontent.
objective
the most
about it
liked
at
reply
all.
here is
Like,
Buff Up
she-
saying, "Dude,
Like, what?
fuck off." And as you can see, some of the biggest independent VTubers on the planet are
Like-
here saying how disappointed they are,
Like,
while
I'm sorry, like, maybe
simultaneously not being
am I
in the
dumb or
slightest
something? Like, did I
convinced
miss
by
something here?
anything
Because
in
what
this
was she talking about
quote-unquote
blaming her for
apology of hers.
missing
It's
some,
a
like, a missing an important
disaster.
date?
But
She
you
only
would be
mentioned Shy
gravely
Lily, like,
mistaken if you
twice.
thought this was the end.
And
No,
she only,
this
like-
incident is the
like,
gift
the-
that keeps
the
on
V-card
giving.
part was, like, mentioned in
Aru,
passing.
the literal ass behind the Invisible Woman in Marvel Rivals. Yeah, I'm not even kidding. They actually used her as reference. But more importantly, she's a streamer and content creator who used to be a VTuber and is on friendly terms with Silvervale. She revealed to us after Cinder's catastrophic apology that her weird obsessive/stalker behavior towards Silvervale didn't start in 2023. This
What?
went on for way longer, and she tried to use Aru to get to her. Here's what she had to say
Okay.
in her statement. "I hadn't planned on tweeting anything about this until I saw Cinder's apology. While I wasn't hurt to the extent others were, it's clear now that I was lied to and used, not treated as a friend, but as a tool. I
It feels
first
like
met
you wanna
Cinder
be a
during
victim,
Twitch
I'm not gonna
Rivals
lie.
tournament and really looked up to her. We hit it off, messaged a lot, and got even closer at TwitchCon 2022, where I spent most of the day with her and Red. At one point, she noticed I was mutuals with Silvervale, someone I admired since meeting her at PAX, and asked if I could introduce her. I thought she was
That
just
seems
a
like
fan
she just
I
wants to be
was.
friends.
Cinder invited me to go with her to Silvervale's meet and greet, and it meant a lot to me.
Okay.
As someone who didn't grow up with many social invitations due to being homeschooled in a foreign country, that gesture felt special. But looking back, I realized she only invited me because she thought I could
Or
give her access to Silvervale.
Maybe
After I
she
introduced
just was
them,
like, "Oh,
Cinder
you
pushed me
also
to
like
ask Silvervale for a
Silvervale.
collab.
Why don't
I'm
you
someone
go
who
with
rarely
me? What the
initiates
fuck?"
collabs. I prefer
You're
to
putting-
build friendships
you're-
off stream
they're
first or let things
going
happen
back
naturally.
and
Still, I
interpreting
went out
things
of my
that-
comfort zone to help because I believe she
in the narrative
genuinely
that they want
admired
to now.
Silvervale. Now I know that wasn't true. And realizing she actually harbored resentment the whole time makes me feel completely used. I wasn't a person to her, just a connection. I did
What?
message Silvervale about the collab the first time, but when
Yeah,
Cinder
she
followed up
harbored
again, I
resentment
brushed it
for
off
everyone
because I
'cause
didn't
she was
want to pressure
insecure.
her. Over time, I started noticing that Cinder didn't treat me like a real friend, more like a means to an end. Sometimes she made it clear IRL that she didn't even like me, and I can't help but think it's because I didn't push harder for the collab. By 2023,
seems like
our
you're
interactions had
also
nearly
insecure
stopped.
now.
Still, I tried to
Because
keep things
what-
friendly in DM/IRL because I didn't know how to stand up for myself or set boundaries.
I'm so
Don't
lost
worry,
right
even
now.
if you set boundaries, she would have still found a way to backstab you, right? Look at Silvervale. Anyway, she continues, "That's changed now for obvious reasons. It's hard to say, but Cinder's apology doesn't feel genuine, especially not towards Silvervale. The truth is, Cinder isn't the only one who makes others in this space feel used or small. People like her, Yaki, and others made me feel that the best choice for myself was to step away from VTubing entirely and made me afraid
Bro,
to build new
so dumb.
connections. But as I said yesterday, there
can't
are
do
good
it
people in
anymore.
this space, and they're the ones worth holding on to. Don't let the bad ones stop you from being your genuine self. To my community, I think I'd like to try
Shut
coming
the
back to
fuck
VTubing.
up.
When we talked about it last
All
night,
of you
hearing
need
how
to
much
go
all
outside
of you
and touch
love the
grass, I
VTubing streams
swear.
honestly
Oh
hit
my
me
God.
hard. It made me sad
I'm
to
sorry.
realize I gave up
Like,
on
I just
something I
genuinely
loved
don't
just
have the
because of
energy for
shitty,
this right
awful
now.
people who
Like,
poisoned the
this-
space
like,
for
they're
me. To the
genuinely
friends
giving me
I
a
pulled away
headache.
from because
This
I
is
was
so
trying to protect my
childish.
peace, I'm sorry.
Like,
I'd
you
love the
like,
chance
it
to
just makes it
reconnect
feel
and
like you wanna
rebuild
be
those
the victim.
friendships. I started
Pulling up
VTubing because I believed
positive,
in the joy and
like,
creativity of this
positive
community. It's
fucking,
heartbreaking to see that spirit dimmed
moments
by
you've
people
had
who
with
take
her,
advantage
going
of others'
back to
kindness,
those,
hold them accountable, call it out.
and then
What I went through
taking
wasn't
it
nearly as
and putting it
intense as what
through
Nanolis experienced, but I do
a
understand how
narrative
hard it is
now.
to say no to a friend,
Like, what?
especially when
Like,
they make you
she
feel like you're the
genuinely
only
was like,
one who can
"Hey,
help."
why don't you go?
I truly
I'm
hope
actually
everyone
going to meet up
affected
with
by
Silver
Cinder can heal
later
and move
to her meet
forward,
and greet.
and
Do
I'm
you want
sorry
to
for
go
any
with me?"
negativity this situation
She didn't
has brought
have
up
to
from
do
my
that
side
since
as
you
well.
already
She
agreed
then
to
links
introduce
3
her.
different
She
images
was
of
doing that
DMs
because
between
to
her
be
and
nice.
Cinder.
Like, what?
The first image is from 2022,
And
and
also,
it's
how the
Cinder
fuck
starting
would
off the
you
conversation
introduce
saying, "Would you
her
want to
during
come
a
meet
meet and
Silvervale with me
greet?
at
What?
2:30 p.m.?"
Okay,
Aru then
whatever.
says, "Of
What
course,
the
I'll go
fuck?
with
What
you,"
the
to
fuck
which
ever?
Cinder says,
She's
"I'm
already
just
going
really
to
nervous
meet
and I
her
think
at
I
a meet
remember
and
you
greet.
meeting her
What?
before."
Okay.
Dude, she is so sneaky. Aru then says, "Yes, I've met her. Oh my god, she's so nice, don't worry." To which Cinder said, "You're the best, oh my god." Aru said, "That's you. What time do you want to meet up?" Cinder said, "Whenever you're free," and Aru said, "Okay, I'll be free in 10. In the next
What do
image,
you
a
mean
few
being
days have
sneaky?
passed,
The fuck?
and it's Cinder saying, "Were you still thinking about messaging Silvervale about a wolf girl chat? I'm not sure if she'd really want to, but I'd love to do more with you anyway. We should plan our spooky collab when we've recovered from this weekend." Aru then
Okay.
says, "Yes, let me message her and ask if that's okay. Yes,
So
yes, I agree.
that
Let's
was her
plan
saying,
something." Cinder
"Hey,
then
are you
says,
still
"We can
doing
wait
this?
a bit if you're still
Also-
recovering, but if you had a day/time in mind, just let me know. My schedule is pretty open right now. I know I'm pooped from this weekend, but I want to do lots with my friends still." To which Aru said, "Sounds like she would be down to play games together once her schedule clears up." In the third image, we see DMs between
Okay.
Aru and Silvervale, with Silver saying, "Hi, it was amazing seeing you too." Aru then says, "I was wondering if you'd ever be down to play some games off stream if had time. Totally understandable if you're too busy though. Cinder and I were just talking about
Okay.
how fun it would be to have
None
a
of
canine
this
night.
seems
Cinder was the hellhound
bad,
that was with
though.
me at the meet and greet.
This seems
Silvervale
like
then
they
said, "That'll
literally
be a
are
ton of fun.
putting
I've
a
been really
narrative
busy
to
lately
it.
with the con prep and
Do you have a
stuff, but things have
Discord?
been
Your link
calming
didn't
down
work,
lately."
by the way.
There's also a fourth
Yeah,
image, so it wasn't just three.
here, I'll
And
give
these
it
are
to you in a
DMs with
minute.
Cinder and
It's,
Aru around a couple weeks after the initial
no,
meetup,
it's
and
fine.
it's Cinder saying, "Hey Aru, have you heard from Silvervale about doing
This
a
is-
Wolfie collab
you
with
can
us?"
just
To which
ignore this
Aru
part
said,
anyways,
"Let me
because
message her
this
right
shit
now."
has nothing
so,
to
hey,
do
yet
with any of
another
this.
person that Cinder manipulated and used. What a surprise.
What do you
Bear
mean
in mind that a
manipulated
year
and
later,
used? She was
would
very
go on to
forthcoming
also show
about
up to
the
her
fact
meet
that
and
she
greet
wanted
and
to
tell
meet
her
up with
mythic
Silver.
manager
What
to
the
message
fuck?
her on her behalf.
I'm
telling
sorry,
you,
y'all
the
are
people
being
involved
dumb.
here
Now
need to
y'all are
get a
just playing
restraining
dumb. That's
order
pissing
on
me off.
Cinder. This is ridiculous.
Because
Shortly
don't
after
get me
this
wrong,
disastrous
she's still in the-
apology, Bao
she's
went
still in the
live to talk
wrong.
about it, and
But-
look, it was very emotional.
But now
Here's
you're
what she
going
had to
back
say.
and
I'll let her do the
just
talking.
being a fucking asshole. Like you're
what I would
being
have
off
done
topic.
if I was in their shoes. I just
It's just my username with 083,
Okay,
but I'll put a link
can't
in a second.
I couldn't understand it. I couldn't understand it. We had been through so much offline and online, and there's nothing more confusing and more painful than seeing someone in your friend group
Okay. Well,
be
Bao's
so
actually a
kind
victim,
and
so I feel bad
warm
for her.
to everyone around you, and feeling that they have slowly become
There, I sent
colder
it.
and colder towards you, and not knowing what you did or if it's your imagination, but because
Or
everyone loves them, you don't.
I feel
know
bad
if
for
you want to
Bao is
say
the only one
anything.
that's innocent in all this, bro.
And so
I
you
feel
keep
bad
it
for
to
her.
yourself, and you keep
This
hoping
poor girl.
it's your imagination. But then the cruel realization hits that it wasn't, and it's even more worse than
I
you could
don't
have
think
ever
that she
imagined.
should have came on stream while she was crying, though. Is she alright? Like, I understand needing to get this out, but if she needs to take a break, then she should
So yeah,
do
it's
that.
definitely
That's
a
in
very
her
hard
rights.
watch. Look, to the average person, this is just another drama, but to these people like Bao and Cotton and Silver and so many more, this is real life. This is someone they've known
Yeah,
for
this
years
is-
and
this is when
genuinely
they're
thought that they were
friends.
close and they were friends and they tried their best to treat Cinder like a precious person, not just a content creator or a VTuber. This is not something they'll just get over, right? They need therapy. They need psychiatric help. This is trauma. It's very hard to trust someone after something like this. As I've already mentioned, this didn't happen overnight. This was a multi-year
Okay,
operation
wait a
from both
second.
Cinder
You're
and Redacted
Operation,
to
you're
backstab
you,
her friends.
shut the
And
fuck
she
up,
only
Mujin.
apologized.
Literally, this entire fucking video is like made me like start to like lose my respect for him. Cause what the fuck is this? You know what? I'm done with this, dude. What the fuck? What are you talking about right now? You're acting like this is some fucking like oh, she did all of this. She went behind the scenes. She was manipulating everybody. She was manipulating this, and this girl said she could meet Silvervale, ignoring the fact that she straight up said, hey, do you mind introducing me to Silvervale? Like that, I'm really a big fan of hers. I would love to do that. I mean, it also hurts Bao a lot. As far as I've known, they've been in previous drama, and this must hurt a lot more. Yeah, I'm not saying anything about Bao, because Bao, she's totally in her rights to be upset. Like, she's actually innocent in this situation. But like the other, like Nano, she did not actively be like, hey, shut the fuck up. Why are you talking shit about people I'm working with? She played into it, and she lied to people with disabilities about her disability. She weaponized that. That's not cool, guys. Please, what the fuck? And fucking the dude that she cheated on her boyfriend with, that was revenge porn, by the way, because what the fuck, that had nothing to do with any of the situation. He was just mad that Silver or Cinder wasn't talking to her anymore, or talking to him anymore, which is kind of the same thing that, like, it's kind of honestly kind of the same situation that Cinder had with Bao, where Cinder got pissed off because whatever. Honestly, I'm done with this. This is so dumb. This all seems so childish, so dumb. Like, what the I can't do this anymore. Please get me the fuck out. Alright, it was nice meeting all of you. It was really, like, this I had a lot of fun, actually. This was a lot of fun. But also, I have a really bad headache from all of this. So I'm gonna go. Have a nice night. See y'all whenever. Hopefully I don't go insane. I think I'm just gonna turn off Twitter for a while. Good night. Thank you. You too. Have a good one. Oh, what? Why? I pressed chat instead of entry. I'm sorry. Goodbye. Have